We always.
What's up, everybody? Hey, it's Tuesday. It's Choppa Talk, 8:45 a.m. on a Tuesday. Dr. Choppa's here. They're in the middle of a detox. They're in the middle of a cleanse. Me and Curt, we had to sit this one out. We weren't invited. Just kidding. We were invited. But everybody's invited. Maybe you're in the middle of the cleanse. You're in the detox group, and you can let us know how it's going for you. We've done 2 of these in the past. One last year, one in January. If we weren't in the middle of a project, I'm sure we'd be in the middle of this cleanse right now.
I feel like if I was driving around the city of Lamarck with no air conditioning and doing a detox, there would be like a nuclear explosion of everything.
You would be D-dead. Not detox, you'd be D-dead.
D-dead. Something would be dead. Something would be. Like my car.
It's okay.
I would purposely like drive it into a ditch or something and be like, I just want cheese.
Wow. Well, hey, if you're watching and you're on the detox, again, let us know. Maybe you're not on the detox and the cleanse. You have no idea what we're talking about. Feel free to ask any questions about it. You can also ask Dr. Aaron Choppa any health concerns that you have going on. Maybe you have something that you weren't born with and it's started to creep up on you. This is your chance.
Can we get some breaking news? Maybe when we go live here on the thing, I have some breaking news to say.
How breaking is this news?
This is pretty big news.
Okay.
So maybe we'll wait when we go on the FM.
If I'm disappointed in this breaking news, I don't know what I'm going to do.
I don't know if you're going to be. I think you're going to be excited about this breaking news.
Okay, we got 30 seconds, and then we're going to go on the FM as well. And we're waiting for Dr. Choppa to get here. I know he's around here somewhere, but I promise you he will be here. Is that him?
The vortex.
Oh, there he is.
He just teleported in. There he is. So we got
headphones on and everything.
10 seconds, and we're going to get into this thing. What's up, folks? Mr. Alan Hutchins, good morning, sir. Tracy, how's it going? Good morning. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. I'm Gardy.
And I'm Curt.
It's 8:47 a.m. Tuesday, and we're excited to have Dr. Aaron Choppa in studio. He's with us every Tuesday, hanging out, talking about what's going on in the world of natural health. If you haven't been to Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center in Leak City, go check them out.
Yeah, you can ask any questions of Dr. Aaron Choppa. This is kind of like your chance to go to the doctor's office without having to spend all the money. But before we get into Dr. Choppa's segment, can I get some breaking news? Because this is news that I can't go any longer without announcing.
I guess so. Some breaking news right here on KHEA Radio.
As of 1 minute ago, Dr. Aaron Choppa has finally liked KHEA Radio on Facebook. Woo!
Dr. Choppa, we're creeping up on a year of you being on air.
Just turned on my notifications and everything.
Woo!
I mean, this is good time. I'm starting. It's like I said, push this button if you want to get notifications.
What did we do? What did we do to push you over the edge and be like, you know what? I'm going to actually like KHEA Radio on Facebook.
Because I just looked at it and I said, why is this button not pushed? I'm going to push this button. I had no idea.
Always push the button.
I mean, I'm just saying,
always
guys,
like the page. You know how many times I've gone to the followers page
and we see
your name there, and there's a button next to it that says ban, and how often I just want to be like, oh man, how has he never liked KHEA Radio and just follows it?
I just have no
ban
idea.
Him.
I'm not tech savvy as you folks. I mean, look, there was a time where I felt like I was really good with technology. I was up with it. Things were happening. And then all of a sudden it was like a tidal wave. It just overtook me. And then I got swept out into the sea and I'm lost forever. I mean, this world of social media and technology, it's complicated. So,
yes.
I mean, sometimes it's not as easy as just hitting a like button. You got to find the like button.
But now we got 7,272.
So you're
That's
number
you.
7,272.
Don't forget
and you
that.
were with us when we had like 100.
I know.
I mean, it's almost been a year since you've been on our show today.
I have nothing to say.
I feel like I need to just start the detox like in this moment right now in celebration of you liking the page.
Hey, I mean, I'm so glad that this segment has been brought to you by KHEA and Dr. Choppa liking the KHEA radio station.
Hey, good morning, Jackie. She said, I'm patiently waiting for my appointment there at Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center. Can't wait. It's next Thursday. Yeah, let us know how it goes.
I'm excited, Jackie.
And Cody Garza said, nice shirt, Curt. PMA.
I decided yesterday, since I missed out, that I needed to wear it today.
Yes.
Plus, I needed a nice, comfortable shirt. We're going to be doing a lot of filming this afternoon for the city of Lamarck. A lot going on. But first, we got to get healthy.
Well, you need to get healthy for sure.
I could use some health too.
Maisie too.
Maisie's new, so hi, Maisie.
She's going to be indoctrined. This is going to be her first
Oh, okay.
experience with Dr. Chapa, I believe.
Does she know the first thing that we have to do as an intern on a Tuesday when Dr. Chapa comes
Yeah,
in?
here, take some supplements.
It's an empty pill box.
I did bring some ribonucleic acid. If you're feeling like your brain is not sharp, I brought some OPC Synergy. If you feel like you need a little mental, pick me up this morning. There's it's all
of them.
It's all food based. You can definitely share, take some, and it's pretty amazing. This stuff for students that are studying for exams. If you find that, or if you're even an adult, like I have a friend of mine, she's studying for a CPA exam, and so these are key ingredients that she's putting in her study material to help her brain perform better whenever you need to memorize information, learn new information, and retain new information. So it's a fantastic product, and I'll tell people all the time, if I'm in with patients, and I see patients quite frequently through the day, and so I need to be sharp. I need to be on my A game. And the minute my moment comes, and I have the squirrel moment where you say squirrel, and you think about something just completely random and not what you should be focused on, I stop, and it's like a trigger. I go and I take ribonucleic acid and OPC and Synergy, and it allows my brain within 5-10 minutes to kick right back into gear, and I'm like, laser sharp, laser focused. It's pretty awesome.
So this is our RNA.
Ribonucleic acid.
How many do we take?
So you can take 2 to 3.
What is
2 to
it?
3.
And that's for memory, staying sharp?
Yeah, staying sharp, memory. So, we'll get some more clever, witty activity out of Maisie and Curt this morning. So it should be pretty exciting on that side of the peanut gallery.
Sweet. I'm excited for something.
Welcome, everybody. I'm glad everybody's tuning in. And, man, I'm telling you, we have launched our, second detox of the year. It's on all online platform. We have a Facebook group, Live Well Detox 2019. And we're just excited that, the amount of people that we've been able to teach over the years that are starting to really appreciate the message. When I went out to North Carolina, I walked out of their program realizing that 2 times a year detoxing is good, but 4 times is better. And because, we change the oil on our car every 3,000 miles. We rotate our tires every 5,000 miles. We brush our teeth daily, floss daily. We go get cleanings twice a year. No one is teaching us about the value of taking care of your organ systems. And that's what Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center has been, a forerunner in teaching and training people how to detox safely and effectively under clinical supervision. And we're just excited to walk people through hand in hand the detox experience and teach people how to live better, be better, and stay better, one bite at a time, one detox at a time, and to learn the value of why we should take care of our liver, why we should take care of our digestive tract, why we should take care of our spleen, our kidneys, because it influences every tissue, cell, organ, gland in our body. And so the cleaner our system is and the less bioaccumulated waste we have stored up, the better we are.
Around Halloween and these big candy and sweet holidays, I'll call them, kids will get potentially sick. And I noticed that, last fall, and I think for Valentine's Day, my son having, chocolate and other stuff. The next day he woke up and my wife was like, man, I never realized that before. But after you were talking to Dr. Chapa, is there anything that kind of the summer brings on, these summer months and the good weather?
So the summer cold is what people tend to get.
Yeah.
And what happens is we go out into the sun, and we haven't been in the sun all winter, and we were all, patiently, excitedly waiting for, sunshiny days and beaches and, the different theme parks and water parks that we're going to hit up. But when we go out there, we have forgotten that we haven't been in the sun all winter. And so we go out there, our whole body's exposed, or lots of our body's exposed, and we see the summer cold come in right after that. Mm-hmm. And what that is the sun, stimulated all the skin melanocytes, all those receptors. It upregulated our body's need for more calcium, vitamin D, and one of the things that happens is we get low in calcium and magnesium, and all of a sudden our immune system gets low.
Wow.
And then people are still indulging in processed food and sugary drinks and things of that nature. And what that really creates at that point is a challenge for the immune system. So we have to create the immune response necessary, via the sun, which is good. But then we've got to come in with like calcium. We got to come in with magnesium. We got to come in with vitamin D, or not necessarily vitamin D, but essential fatty acids to get the nutrients back into the cells so that we don't get sick and our immune system doesn't get taxed.
Sometimes in the past at least, I've gotten a heat rash. Being out in the sun for too long, and I don't know if it's because I didn't put proper protection on or didn't drink enough water, but just get like little bumps like on certain parts where it's just, I guess, is irritation from the heat, or is it from the actual sun rays? How does that work?
Well, it's a combination of both. I mean, if let's say that I'm assuming you probably didn't put anything on your skin, but when you find those little bumps raised up, what's happening is when the sun hits our skin, it stimulates. It's a chemical reaction. I mean, that's where the vitamin D is coming from the sun. Cholesterol conversions are happening. I mean, it's really fascinating. And if you don't have good calcium reserves, good magnesium reserves, good basic building block of minerals intact, the skin receptors can biochemically not do their job effectively and create a rash. And that's another sign that you have low minerals. You have low calcium, low magnesium, low essential fatty acids. And low essential fatty acids could be something as simple as flaxseed oil, could be as simple as cod liver oil, could be a general fish oil, could be just avocado, getting more macadamia nuts, those saturated fats, those healthy fats into your body, tissues. And so I think a lot of times when you get a rash, you got to think a couple things like, all right, what's up with that? Well, why did that happen? I had a girl come in yesterday, a young girl, and swelling all around the eyes. She had an old sunscreen that they put on, and her body had a negative reaction to it. And so is it something that you put on your skin? When in conjunction with the sun, did it create a chemical reaction that gave you a symptom that you weren't satisfied with?
Yeah, speaking of expired items, Curt was mentioning yesterday a can of, I don't even know what it was, but it expired, right? So those products like sunscreen, products, healthy items are like, moisturizer stuff. It may not be natural, but if they have an expiration date and you use them anyway, can we end up affecting ourselves,
at some level, possibly, right? Like I know some of the products that I use, and I can speak to like my supplement base, the expiration date on our supplements are there because by law, by FDA standard, they have to maintain a potency. So if it says it's got, 410 milligrams of dried buckwheat juice, it needs to have 410 milligrams of buckwheat juice up until this expiration date. And after that expiration date, you'll start seeing it decline a little bit. That's when the denaturing, so to speak, or potency starts to go away.
So that's the natural supplements.
Yeah.
Because it'll still have some potency, but it does start to go down.
To decline. So I would imagine it'd be similar in like skincare and things like that. But at the end of the day, if you went out in the sun and you have no reason to have a rash, that's a vitamin or mineral deficiency. And it could be you're low in D, it could be you're low in magnesium, low in calcium, could be that you need more essential fatty acids. It means that maybe you're not drinking enough water, you're dehydrated. I mean, because that's the other thing that people forget to do, and I can't stress it enough. It's so easy. Drinking a liter of water or 32 ounces of water per 50 pounds of body weight. If we can get you drinking more water throughout the day, it's amazing how much your body will thank you for that. And it will show you through no rashes or no headaches or more energy and more mental clarity.
Natural springs from the Ozarks, the Rocky, like water, been there for thousands of years, and then you get a bottle of it and it says, good till 2022. What's up with water with expiration dates on it?
And again, there's a couple things. I mean, if you look at a lot of the plastics that these things are stored in, I think that maybe there's a level of leaching of plastic into the fluids that we're consuming. If it has an expiration date, it's an interesting thought. Like, why would water go bad?
And it could be some of the plastic and stuff.
But they do say that, like, when anything that gets stagnant for too long, begins to deteriorate and not, have a good, strong molecular base. And Diamoto did some good study on, what water looks like under microscopy. and where they would freeze it. They would talk to the water. They would cuss at the water. They would put the water in different states and see what it looked like under a microscope. And one of the things that they found with stagnant pond water and or distilled water is molecularly it did not look very healthy under a microscope compared to water out of like a fresh spring in the Ozarks or out of in Japan or probably before the nuclear reactor melting. But
yeah,
you know what I mean. But at the end of the day, very interesting, right? Like I think it goes back to the conversation of expiration dates are there whenever there's stagnation. Things can't sit forever.
Yeah.
Dr. Chapa, one of the shows that is doing really, really well and that's getting a lot of critics' reviews on HBO is Chernobyl. Have you seen anything about that show yet?
No.
It's really intriguing, but you've heard of Chernobyl, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things that I found was really interesting was they, besides the fact that they were hiding, the fact what was going on into the atmosphere, but like the skin burning off, and all that other stuff. That's scary, and we have those still in the United States.
I mean, the reality is we're also about to bring in 5G technology. I mean, technology is amazing, but I was just talking to a flight attendant the other day that spent 25 years in the air, and they're attributing some of her current conditions, cancer, to her being exposed to all the radiation. 4-hour flight in the air exposes you to more radiation than you would get in a year on the ground. So every piece of technology we have comes with a cost. It's not just free. It's a luxury to have this wonderful piece of technology sitting before us. I mean, look at what we're doing. We're projecting through camera onto Facebook. Radio's hearing us. And we have fancy cell phones in our car that's picking up this message. We're listening to it through apps on our cell phones.
You're telling people to turn off KHEA radio.
No, I didn't say that at all.
Oh, okay, good.
And
you're telling them there's a price to pay.
You just intuitively
well, what's the price?
Put that, the price is you're going to learn something. But the reality is it does come with a cost. And so we're surrounded by things like Chernobyl. We're surrounded by the advancing of the world, but everything comes at a cost. Like us not taking naps in the afternoon is a cost. Like in America, we are go-hards where we just never stop. We push ourselves into the dirt, and we wonder why we have. We're still like we're the richest country ever, and yet we're sicker than most countries that are third world.
So if we went in and moved, we sold everything. We went and lived on a farm in Pennsylvania, like with the Quakers or, the people who are technology. I mean, would our lives be better? Will we live longer? What does the study show?
I mean, so I had a patient come in clinically. This is, not a study, but this is just something that happened. And she was chronically fatigued. She had adrenal fatigue syndrome. And that's where your adrenal glands do not perform like they're supposed to. The ability to handle stress doesn't work like it's supposed to. And so the body has a misfiring. So like the simplest of stresses that you and I would say is simple, all of a sudden now seems complex and complicated. And so she was real sick, a lot of different symptom patterns, a lot of different diagnoses coming her way, depression. They were going to put her on, antidepressants. And her husband said, hey, we got a farm. Our family has a farm up in wherever it was. And I'm, do you think rest would help my wife? And I said, absolutely. And so he goes, oh, great. He took over all the duties of the house for a month and sent his wife up there and took care of the kids, took care of everything. And the first week that she was up there, she slept 18 hours a day for a week. The second week, yeah, she was wiped out. Mm-hmm. The second week, she slept 12 hours a day. The third week, she slept a normal 8-hour shift. And then she came back home refreshed and ready to go. And she did it literally 30 days fixed her adrenal fatigue because she got to rest and sleep and heal. And so we don't sleep well in this country. We don't rest well in this country. All we do is say, where's the go button? And let's push harder. And we push ourselves to a point. So if we went to a place where we could disconnect, They say it takes approximately 4 days for you to disconnect from being so needing to be stimulated. And so I think that, people would definitely slow down and not take life so, aggressively in their hands and wear themselves out. But I mean, it doesn't mean that any of us are going to do that. How do we? So the next question is, well, how do we create the arena for de-stressing our body? And that's where I think herbals come in, nutrition comes in, and making sure that you are integrating certain lifestyle principles into your day-to-day lifestyle. Because not everybody has the luxury of going and sleeping for, a month,
right,
and sleeping it off, so to speak. And so water, that's where you start. Good, healthy breakfast, integrating intermittent fasting, looking at things like, turmeric, and we use this, stuff called turmeric forte in our office, and it helps to stimulate brown fat production in the body, which is your energy pumps and metabolism. And and intermittent fasting can create a shift in the way that your body perceives stress in a healthy way instead of an unhealthy way. Going to bed on time, not, turning the lights down in the evening, going through having evening rituals that you start integrating into your family life in order to take, the bull by the horn, so to speak, and getting adequate rest. We need 6 to 7.5, really 8 hours of good sleep a night to allow the brain to transfer all yesterday's data of memory, new learning, into long-term storage. And I think that, we need to, be cognizant of the fact that we are humans. We are not robots. And we need to be aggressive in taking care of our bodies.
Right now it's 9:06. This is KHEA Radio.com, 99.5 FM. We're talking to Dr. Aaron Chapa. It is Tuesday. He's in usually every Tuesday, and we talk about health questions, nutrition questions in a natural way. If you have any thoughts or concerns, feel free to let us know. I see this is a question from Ashley. What are your thoughts on sensory deprivation tanks? I tried it once and loved it.
Hi, Ashley. Good to see you. So whenever
Can you tell us what that is first?
Yeah, it'd be like a float tank, or where there's very little sensory inputs coming in. Your body is in a very stable state. For example,
Infinity Floats, right? Has one?
Yeah, float. Yeah, and I'm not sure, but it sounds like it. And but let's just say that right now we're all sitting down, so we are more stable sitting down than we are standing up. Would you agree?
Yeah,
yes. Okay. And so if we're walking is more unstable than standing. So your brain is always creating, running calculus on prediction of threat. The more threat we have, the more stress that's on the body. And so when we get into like some complicated, conditions that people come in with, we will put the body in a as little threat environment as possible, because if the body perceives there be a grizzly bear in the room, but yet it's just us, then there's a disconnect in the way the brain is perceiving its environment, and therefore that body is running at a higher level of stress, and that requires more minerals to be lost because there's a payment, a cost to the stress, and that creates people reaching for comfort foods and bad behaviors and things like that to try to manage the stress. And so if we can put people in these little environments where they can completely disassociate from their crazy world, so to speak, because we all got some level of crazy in us, right? And we find that they get a lot of benefit not feeling all that threat all at once, all the time, and never having a break.
Sometimes people do that with like just even a simple detox away from technology, not
That's
necessarily,
right. Absolutely.
taking that time to get away from something that's overstressing you.
Or social media. I've seen that. People taking the weekend, just uninstalling the app on their phone and then coming back,
Yeah.
taking a break.
And again, I think there's many levels of, and when we talk about detox in this, society and in this modern day age, I tell people all the time, if you're not detoxing in the 21st century, you're missing a huge healthcare piece of your, health puzzle for the longevity and vitality. And that detox doesn't necessarily have to be with just food. It could be, making sure that instead of, can y'all get her?
We can.
that longevity piece happens where we can get people to remove all the technology or the bad food, or help them get into a healthier, lifestyle habit where their bodies perform at a higher level. I mean, there's just a number of things we can do to detox from the crazy of our world, and so that's why we kind of promote these.
I like the crazy of our world, to be fair.
But I'm not saying that we don't love it. I mean, I feed on it too. But don't you think that at some point we have to know when we can disconnect from it and reset?
How do you know whenever you get to that point? Because I feel like I'm for the most part on the go, but I feel I think fine. What should I be looking for where I'm like, man, I need to stop and take a day to not do anything?
Well, so we
go float.
Well, so you might assess, we have toxicity questionnaires. So if you go to justlivewell.com, we have different toxicity questionnaires up there that you can take. Things around allergies, things around digestion, things around sleep, things around energy. And what we're looking for is for you to do self-assessment. So in the neurological field, neurotransmitter testing, we find that doing symptom surveys and listening to people's symptom patterns give us more neural feedback when dealing with neurotransmitters that are low or deficient than doing hardcore neurotest, because the brain isn't necessarily broken. It just might be malfunctioning. It might have a misfire, and it's not enough to be diagnosable yet. You might not have some debilitating brain issue that can be seen on an MRI, but you can definitely see where doing specific visceral exercises or eye movement exercises can retrain the brain and the nervous system to come back online, which then improves overall body function. The way you lift weights, the way you swim, the way you ride a bike, the way you interact with your family, the way you sell a project, in your sales job. I mean, in everything. The brain wants to be amazing, and it just comes down to how much does it have to juggle throughout the day, and how much bioaccumulated toxins does it have built up, and what are you doing to de-stress those burdens that your body's carrying? And those are called barriers to healing. Another key thing that we're constantly working on in the office is finding what barriers to healing are preventing you from being the best version of you could be.
Hey, so we have another guest here in studio.
I'm so excited.
Can you come and say what's up? Good morning. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So you work with Dr. Chapa, right?
Yes.
We're sorry for you.
Yeah. So let's just first tell everybody who this guest is. Mm-hmm. This is Dr. Amber. Hi, Dr. Amber.
Hey, guys.
So you're on Facebook. You're on the radio.
Do you have Facebook?
I do have Facebook.
Are you going to like the page, or are you going to wait a year of being on our show every Tuesday before you finally decide, hey, I'm going to decide to like the page?
This sounds like you're
attacking Dr.
exactly.
Chapa?
Yeah.
No, this is completely true.
He's always looking for ways to throw me under the bus. It's a give and take here.
So, yes, I'll make sure I like the page. I might already, actually.
Ooh.
Wouldn't that be that? See, look at
even
that.
better.
That's what it should have been.
So you work at Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center. Dr. Chapa, there's a lot of services that he specializes and offers, and he kind of oversees the whole thing. What's your role there at the office?
So, we met, and I had just moved to Texas, so I have been a chiropractor for the last 6 years, practicing for the last 6 years, and came into town and realized that the way that I practice and the chiropractic philosophy that I have was different than a lot of the other chiropractors in the area, and met this guy and realized we were pretty the same.
Cool. Where are you from?
St. Louis, Missouri.
From Missouri.
Yeah.
Cool. And you just came down here for a change, or were there some other things that brought you down?
I followed my husband. I don't really
Okay.
have.
Awesome.
I wanted to follow.
Of
my
course.
husband, in case he's listening.
Of course. So you ended up in our area, which we love our area. I think we're a pretty strong community, and there's a lot that we have to offer.
For sure.
What has been your experience here so far? Do you enjoy living in Texas and I guess the League City area?
Yes, absolutely. So my husband had the foresight to realize that we probably would like the southeast area a little better than anywhere else. So I'm really thankful that we're in the League City area.
Yeah.
It was, of course, a change. I mean, we had our kids already in Missouri, started parenting there, and just had to pick everything up and move. But the community is great. I mean, everybody's so friendly. I think that, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's my first experience with Southern hospitality, and I think it's here.
You mentioned your philosophy as a chiropractor not really lining up with the others here. Is that something that is in Missouri, like a lot of people practice the way you do and have the same kind of ideals?
No, not. I don't know. There's so many. I think that's the great thing about chiropractic is there's so many different approaches to it, and that's awesome because you can meet so many people who need, tailored health care, if you will. Sometimes it's a downfall because someone will try some chiropractor once and not like it and decide I can't go back. But I would encourage everybody to seek out your proper health care provider because there's so many different ways to do it. What I meant was I see a lot of musculoskeletal chiropractors, and to us, I think for Dr. Chapa and I, there's so much more to the chiropractic adjustment than just musculoskeletal pain. So just, I'm achy, I need an adjustment. It's fantastic for that, but to me, it's just, your spinal cord is like basically a freeway from your brain, and if you could remove a traffic jam, why wouldn't you? So your brain can talk better to the rest of your body.
Cool. That makes sense. I like it. And so, Dr. Chop, whenever you met Dr. Amber, did it seem y'all kind of lined up and it just seemed like it was going to work, right?
Absolutely. Like it was awesome how it all kind of started to line up. And it was just a really simple, smooth transition and easy fit, so to speak. And so she brings, another extension of like what I'm very passionate about in family medicine and family care, taking care of the mommies and the babies and the little kids and stuff like that. So her and I share, pretty strong passion in taking care of the little people. And so, we work hard at, I always, tell my patients, I feel like I have the best prenatal plan in creating the nutritional side. And then, Dr. Amber has a whole, layer of, taking care of moms structurally, neuromusculoskeletal, as well as just getting rid of those burdens off the nervous system while they're going through development of their future offspring. You know what I mean? And so one of the messages that we're always trying to help people understand is we've got to get rid of the blocks that are keeping your body from thriving, because so many people are just surviving and getting by. And we're trying to retrain people's thinking that nutrition, neurological rehabilitation through an adjustment, through detoxification, through supplementation, through diet, through lifestyle modifications is just something that we can all grab hold of. Like some of the techniques that are out there, they're really fantastic and amazing, but it's a stretch for people to reach. Like they can appreciate that food could cause them to have a reaction, or if they put some kind of expired lotion on their skin, they're going to have a reaction. They can grab that, and so what we're trying to help people see is we've got to take the bull by the horns, and every adjustment you get every 4 to 6 weeks, there's so much neurological proliferation, that's neurological development that happens in the nervous system, that it decreases your chances for Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and allows your body to perform better the older we get, and it allows our memory to work better.
Wow. So one thing that I'd mentioned to you before was going to a chiropractor. Like me personally, I'd rather see a guy, just for whatever reason, because I don't like being touched at all, really, and I'd rather know the person. So I know.
You're not touchy-feely?
No.
Is your wife touchy-feely?
Well, like if I know them, then I'm cool with it.
He still has
it's
yet
weird.
to give me a high five. I asked all
one
the
day,
time.
but and I can see how other people, like if it was a mom or a lady, she'd be like, oh, I prefer Dr. Chop or I prefer Dr. Amber, to have somebody like a fellow female as well. Is that something that you see a lot of, like people that want to come to you?
I think I don't know if I see a lot. I think that it really just sort of depends on your past experiences and what you're looking for. But yeah, sure, definitely. In practice, even back in Missouri, sometimes I'd get phone calls to my office and they didn't know I was a solo practitioner, so they would want to know, or they would specifically ask to see the female doctor.
Cool.
And sometimes I think, especially when you're talking about, maybe breastfeeding issues or pregnancy issues, it feels good to have that commonality.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Just
Yeah.
like, oh, she might get it because she might have already been there herself, or just kind of,
Yeah.
takes the pressure away.
Yeah. One thing I know, Dr. Chapa, because I feel like I'm not big, I'm not small. I feel like I'm a good sized person, and so I was like, well, if I'm gonna have somebody like brace my weight, I was like, I feel like Dr. He's a big guy. He can hold me. Like Curt, if he was a chiropractor and trained, I'd be like, I don't know. I feel like he would drop me on the floor. So that comes into
he
my
might do
thought
that
process.
just because.
Listen, I'm a really good, I have really sturdy hands. See, that's the other thing, too, when I want, sturdy hands.
Sturdy hands on the keyboard all day, big, just typing and using the mouse.
So I have a question for the chiropractor as well. I like when people step on my back. I literally could have people step on my back all day. I love pressure.
Like untrained people, just like random person.
Oh,
be
yeah,
like,
random
just walk
people,
on this thing.
just walk on my back because then it pops and it feels so good.
Is that good?
I like pressure. I love pressure on my back. If I had a weighted blanket, I think I would be, over the top excited.
I mean, there's a huge sensory component to wanting deep pressure like that. Okay, so I, of course, have patients say, well, I can pop my own neck, or, I just don't.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah, so say you're in a yoga exercise, or say you're stretching and you hear the cavitation, which is the fancy word for all those pops. I mean, you can't really help that happening, right? And you shouldn't be concerned. But sometimes in the spine, you're moving something that has instability. So really, when we assess your spine, we're going segment by segment. And I think both him and I pride ourselves on specificity. So it's not just, this real quick whack-em, crack-em sort of, adjustment. So you don't want, my point is, okay, I guess I don't want to be the one to tell you can't have something you enjoy.
Well, so this is what I would.
But-
He tells me all the time I can't have
That's
cheese.
true. That
Well, yeah,
is
it's true. You just got to tell him how it is.
One of the things I actually, when I was in college, I woke up one morning and I literally could not feel anything. I couldn't feel my legs. I was my whole back was stiff. I was on the top bunk and I remember just rolling off the top bunk onto the floor, just be I got to get out of bed. I can't do this. So I ended up going to a chiropractor, slowly walking my way to the chiropractor.
Crawling.
Yeah, it was bad. But they went through and they actually went spine by spine. Is that what it is?
Segment by
segment.
Segment by
Mhm.
segment. And they had this little tool and they could feel its reaction back to you. It was really cool. But then they would pick the spots and they'd be okay, this part of the spine is bad. So then they'd go and they would hit that spine with a little tool. It was really fun. But it actually worked. It put my spine back into alignment. But yeah, so it was just interesting.
Ashley said that's probably because you let people walk on your back. So
So
maybe
they got
it's
you out of alignment.
related.
Maybe.
not.
Look, self-care is the best healthcare, right? So joint mobility, movement exercises, creating articulations between the segments of your body and movement articulations is healthy. If you squat down and you feel your knees cracking, there's some level of decompression that's happening in the joints. If you do shoulder shrugs and you feel movements in the shoulders or popping in the shoulders, there's decompression happening in the synovial tissue. But so that's not necessarily an adjustment, but it is. I mean, there's that when those bones are articulating, they're stimulating these receptors that speak to the brain, and so when people walk on your back, you're in a sense managing a need that you can't fulfill on your own. You're looking for somebody to help you stimulate a reflex, and there's a ton of mechanoreceptor stimulation receptors in your spine, in your thoracic spine, where you probably like people to push and put pressure.
I did have a question with all the things that I was saying, but the coolest part that they did was they measured the nerve responses on your back, and apparently not taking care of your spine can lead to nerve damage in your back. Is that correct? Can you talk a little bit about why that's important?
Yeah, I think, sometimes I'll liken it to, not necessarily, arthritis, but for instance, if you're thinking of anything that sits stagnant for a long time can grow disease. I mean, so why couldn't it happen to your nerves? Why wouldn't it happen to your bones? It does. We call it arthritis. So you have to keep.
We actually call it arthrongus.
I call it arthrongus.
Yeah.
because there's nothing rightous about
There
it.
you go. Good.
I was waiting
We
for
got
that
jokes
opportunity.
here.
I know, she just pitched it straight down the middle. Almost like we set her up.
She said it
Home run!
two times.
I was like,
no. Boom! No, don't say that in here. It's arthrongus. It's 9:25. It's KHEA Radio.com, 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. We're going to be on till 11. We have Dr. Aaron Chapa. We have Dr. Amber from Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center here in studio. If you have any questions that have to do with health at all, maybe you have tried everything. I promise maybe you haven't tried everything because Dr. Aaron Chapa and his team are here to take a natural approach. If you have any questions and you're watching on Facebook, feel free to ask. Curt, you've been asking some pretty good questions, the tough ones.
Oh, yeah. I love asking the tough questions. And if you want to ask the tough questions as well, all
Bring
you have
it
to do
on.
is drop a comment.
That's right.
Or text 346-704-1806. Our text line is open right now. That's 346-704-1806.
Yep.
So yeah, we have a couple things since Dr. Amber showed up. We had a really cool experience last month, and doing something that she's wanted to bring to the table, a mommy meetup, bringing moms and together with their kids in a central location where they could talk shop about health, wellness, and just kind of camaraderie, not even necessarily with an agenda, but to help build relationships, because people are looking for community of people that have a similar thinking pattern. And so we have one coming up in the this month, and it's coming up on June 10th, at Walter Hall Park, right? And
it was a great time last time too.
Yeah,
it really
so-
was.
What you'll do?
So we had a wonderful playground, a bubble machine, some Disney music. You
Awesome.
can't
go wrong
go
with that.
without that.
I went and saw Aladdin last night with my kids. It was nice.
I'm waiting to go.
Was it good?
Yeah,
Yeah, good.
I enjoyed it. So yeah, some Disney music and just hanging out with
Yeah,
some
we brought
like-minded
some toys
people.
for the kiddos. So we had an age range. Infants to maybe 10, 12. So really it just kind of, I think that people who gravitated towards there maybe already knew our clinic or heard of it, and just kind of, it really just became a group of like-minded thought. We just kind of hung out and everybody had questions. Maybe you heard other moms talking homeschool talk or health talk or essential oil talk, and it was just kind of, it was friendly and fun. And he's right. Everybody's looking for community. I mean, really, truly. Even if you don't think you are, you are.
Yeah, you probably have one. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
Me, myself, and I. Right? No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, but everybody's looking for some kind of tribe to associate with. And I mean, I was reading something the other day that like there is a movement like where people are choosing relationships, friendships that they're going to have with other families based on like their meal patterns, the way they eat and what they eat. So. And I think it's because people don't want to feel judged or feel awkward if they have, some level of food restriction. And, some people think it's a fad, this whole, gluten-free lifestyle, this dairy, what I try to bring into the table, this dairy-free lifestyle. But what we've seen for sure is that it's not a fad. I mean, people have legitimate issues, and it might not be an allergy, like anaphylactic shock and your throat's going to close up. But it's enough of a burden that you don't necessarily have a direct answer to why your blood pressure is going up, or why you have belly pain every day and you struggle to get out of bed, or why you crash in the afternoon from 1 to 3, or you can't seem to focus on anything because your mind is racing about 10,000 other things. And so what that shows us is we want to teach people that it can be as simple as an adjustment. It could be as simple as an adjustment to what you're putting in your body. Remember, what you eat's important, but
What you don't eat is more important.
I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself, guys. I mean, I just took the words right out of my mouth, and so it blows my mind that it sometimes could be as simple as removing dairy from the body's diet. And it takes approximately 3 days for the body's inflammatory responses to drop, and I would say we can speed that up so drastically when we have the neurological connection, and when we are always working on stimulating the brain. We either do it through food, an adjustment, visceral manipulation, joint mobility exercises and giving your body a healthy place to be what we call eustress. And that eustress is a stress that's not stressful but necessary for you to continue to evolve and develop.
Dr. Amber, are you on the cleanse and detox right now?
I am. Mine's a little shortened because I'm going on vacation.
Awesome. So what? How long is it?
Dr. Chapa has told us before that you can still do a cleanse and be on vacation.
Yeah, so one time I sent my husband on a cleanse, and
he wasn't happy?
No, he did it. Like, he's dedicated, but he hauled a cooler around with him, and I think that was a little challenging. So,
That's pretty awesome. I'm proud of that.
Yeah, I'm very proud of him too. I don't know. So here's the thing: we haven't taken a vacation all year, so I'm not going to burden my family with like, oh, we can't eat this, we can't do that. We're pretty good throughout the whole year. But I do agree with him. You can, and of course, I'll modify still, but I probably am not going to have the full 21-day effect, which I firmly love. The full 3 weeks.
I feel like, can I ask this question? Because we've never had an opportunity to like truly ask anyone that works for you this question before, and I really want to ask this question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, no pressure.
Yeah.
Are you allowed? Like, I feel like working for Dr. Chapa, that you can't you can't go to McDonald's and eat McDonald's, right? Like, it's kind of like those things. Like, I work for a church, so there's certain things that I can and can't do. The same thing would apply for Dr. Chapa's employees as well, right?
So one time we were all hanging out and we had a bonfire with the kids, and I did text him. I'm like, so am I going to lose my job if I bring s'mores to the kids?
He's laughing, but he's like, yes.
No.
Yes.
So like for example, so there are some rules. I mean, that you bring that, like, you can't have fast food beverages behind the counter at my office.
Right.
If it's a main squeeze, if it's something healthy, if it's from natural living, something that we're promoting as healthy, because the reality is you can't expect to be healthy on fast food, processed food, and especially processed drinks that are loaded with the deadly 4 food additives: aspartame, sucralose, or Splenda, or not Splenda, but I mean sucralose and saccharin, or high fructose corn syrup or crystalline fructose. These things are detrimental to the body. But at the end of the day, to expect anybody to ever be like truly 100% perfect.
I expect you to be 100% perfect, if we're being honest.
I mean, well, fair enough. I mean, but I'm going to be
He's
the first
pretty darn
to tell
close.
you.
I can vouch for him.
Well, no, yeah.
I mean, I
it's
did eat
pretty-
a salad
it's
in
pretty
the car on the way over here, just for the record.
But I don't understand why Ashley's saying, like, I go to McDonald's.
Well, she goes to Pride and McDonald's to just do promotions and marketing. She's picking up clients for us, Thanks, Ashley. Yeah.
I don't think, though, that, so I started all this with a deep love for nutrition. Nutrition is what helped me find chiropractic. So he didn't have to mold me too much to his ways. I might not be as perfect. I don't know if you like the word perfect. You like the word perfect?
No, I can't.
He's like, keep
Yeah,
going.
you probably don't like it, but like...
Yes.
There are some
Perfect, you say? Huh?
There's some days when I feel like when Chapa comes in here, I'm like, should I not? Like, it does cross my head a little bit.
I'll tell you
but
right
then
now.
it doesn't matter.
So I used to go to networking groups, and I would stand right next to the donut table, because that's what everybody would have, donuts and pastries and stuff like that at these networking groups. So I would just stand right by there. And it was always baffling to me. Like, nobody actually went to the table until I walked away from the table.
I need you on Sunday morning when I'm like walking over to get my 4th or 5th donut from Shipley's over there. I need you over there to
It's not
stop
good
me.
for you.
We should maybe make accountability bracelets, like those rubber bands. Give our patients when they come in,
awesome.
so it could
And then
say,
snap
so
it
when you're
and-
reaching for food, you see your
What would
Living
Chapa
Well
eat?
clinical nutrition, like
Right there.
snap. I should put this
Chapa
back.
eat?
It's like you turn it. It's a picture of his face, and he's like this, just like kind of like really.
Yeah, really? You're doing this
I
now?
need it tattooed because I feel like I would just take away the bracelet. Like, I just need it where it's permanently there, and it's like, Chapa.
I'll be like a little angel on your shoulder. Yeah.
I need that pill box with that pill that you gave me that prevents me from like enjoying food.
Oh, the gymnema. Yeah, that's I brought in.
Prevents you
yeah,
from enjoying
well,
food.
So gymnema, like robs the taste buds of sweet
Right.
for 15 minutes or so. But it also works on the beta receptors of your pancreas, so it has many other functions other than just taste.
Of course.
But they happen to have an amazing sweet treat come in right after my
Baklava?
segment. Was it baklava? I couldn't remember. I
think it was
but it was
baklava.
something really looked like it was probably going to be tasty.
And you noticed?
it tasted like cardboard to them, and they were like, "Dang
I was
it!"
so mad.
I was so
like,
happy. I left the
Choppa!
studio just going.
He ate the whole thing anyway. That's what trips me out. I was like, it doesn't taste like anything. Why are you going to eat the whole thing? He's like, just because. You
I
know?
was like, I got it. Eventually, maybe it's gonna taste okay.
Next bite. Nope. Tastes like nothing. Hard
Yeah.
time.
So, but we have to find, what is it that you're willing to do? Like if whatever it is you're dealing with. Smash the like button if you've got a symptom right now that you don't particularly care for or want. And I think that when people recognize and they're assessing their bodies regularly, that's when you start asking better questions. Because if you're waking up every day and you're thinking, I don't want to get out of bed. I feel like I got a weighted blanket on me, and I can't get out of bed, or I struggle, to get going once I'm out of bed, or you struggle to even have an idea why you've got headaches all throughout the day, or you are in the fetal position because you got so much belly pain most of your day. I mean, this is happening all around us, and that people are high functioning, high productive humans that have no true diagnosis because they're slipping through the medical cracks because they're functionally ill. They're not diagnostically pathology. They have some sort of pathology.
Do they just accept broken, though? Don't you think sometimes you just meet people who just think, like, oh, that's just me?
Yep.
Right.
But I just argue that all the time because is that just you? Or do you just not know,
That there's
You
a better
gotta
way.
yeah, you
Well,
just,
that we've
and
kind
why
of been
wouldn't you
trained
try?
Because they say, oh, well, you're getting, what's those words? Older.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. It's true.
We've been inundated with lies.
Mm-hmm. So how do you prevent that, like from getting old? What do you do?
Good. You want to throw some out there?
Well, you find our office.
Hey, I like that.
Because really, seriously, like we both had a discussion recently about how we just have this desire, him and I, and probably a lot of our office and patients, to just age gracefully. Like, I refuse to get old. Why? Why do you have to? Why do some people live to 101 and others can't? Why do you meet some 60-year-olds who just seem like 99 and some who are still out on their mountain bikes every day? Like, there is an answer. I don't think it's just, I mean, I suppose genetics can play a portion of it because, you'll have some people who say that, and I do believe that. Some people are
genetically
ill,
predisposed
yeah.
for this or that.
But if that's the case, can't you work with that? Like, if you recognize within you that, gosh, I'm 35 and I feel like I'm 65, I just want you to, almost
Take action.
rebuke that. Like,
Yeah.
no, absolutely not. There's got to be something better. There's just no way we were destined to
That's
live
why
that
I
type of
suffer through
life.
life.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like I can still eat cheese and do everything I'm doing because I feel
Genetics.
like I'm 21.
He's blessed with the body of a Greek
I
god.
feel like I'm 21.
Yeah.
Or I act like I'm 21, one of the two.
Do you really,
I
really
mean-
feel like you're 21? Like,
Oh yeah, when I'm walking around and hanging out with people, I'm like, yeah, I'm your age. And they're like,
Right.
21. I do.
I mean, hey, I was jumping on a trampoline yesterday trying to teach my little one how to do well, not my littlest one, but one of my little ones, how to do a backflip on a trampoline. Then we went for a bike ride and caught lightning bugs and stopped at our pastor's house and banged on his door at 9 o'clock and hung out with him for an hour. That was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, just to randomly show up at people's houses. And it's the middle of the night. We didn't
are
get
you
home
like
till
wrapping them with
10:30.
toilet paper, like with your
No,
kid? Like,
no,
what do you...
not we're not to that relationship
Okay,
level
okay.
yet. We'll get there. Hope he's not listening. But the I was even telling my kids Kinley yesterday, my oldest, because I was a little tired when I got home. I mean, I had a busy day at the office, and you're pouring yourself into a project, into a person, into people. It can be mentally exhausting and challenging. But when I got home, I just said, there's this is that fork in the road. I can either plop down on the couch and do nothing and just sit, or I can drink me a glass of water and just maybe eat some dinner. I had a salad for dinner last night, and I went out on the trampoline and started just I didn't just get out there and just start like pounding the trampoline, like jumping hard. I just said I'm gonna bounce gently for 100 reps. I mean, my kids aren't necessarily gonna know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of bouncing. I'm getting my lymphatics to move.
Yeah.
So you asked earlier, you're like, what can you start doing? Let's just start with like that. Make a decision to not age in an accelerated state. Let's slow down that process and age more graceful and have a good attitude about the aging process. I tell patients, there's no real books on like how to age gracefully, because and Nikolai Amosov, a Russian cardiologist that does cardiovascular surgery 1 to 2 a day at 95. I mean, think how steady that dude's hands is, right? And he says that some of the techniques that I do daily are so easy that nobody will do it. And it could be something as simple as joint mobility of all the joints in the body. It could be drinking a glass of water. It could be getting down. I remember I saw, Grandmaster Garza talk about being ready for anything. He wanted you to be ready to drop down and say, I can do 50 push-ups, I can do 50 sit-ups, I can do 50 lunges and 50 squats, body squats, in any given point of your day, week, month. He goes, that's fitness ready, and it not break you. You know what I mean? So having little things like that that you're incorporating, and now the more we're learning about the power of the brain, it could be something even simpler than just exercise. You could do eye exercises. You could listen to symphony music in one aspect of your ear. You could turn your head to the side and change the vestibular relationship to your eyes and do ocular work. I mean, there's so many really cool things to enhance what is not working well in your body day in and day out. But we've got to assess you. And that's what we do at our office, is we're always looking and listening to the story of our patients and then finding out where's a good place to start with them so that they can start seeing results more quickly.
Curt, remember whenever you turned 30?
Yes.
And you were kind of in denial.
I'm 30?
Yes. Yes, you are. But you were in denial about it. You're like, no, I'm 20 years old. I still, I'm 20. And
yes.
But I think there's nothing wrong with getting older in age, as long as you are, like y'all said, aging gracefully. And there's ways to do that. And a lot of people think of the picture in their head of the old person who can't move around and can't do anything. And that's probably what will almost freak them out. But if you are on a different path, then it doesn't matter. Like I'm 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, but I can still do everything I did whenever I was in my 20s or 30s, right?
Because what if you just retrained your thought patterns so that you weren't thinking so you don't have that vision that you just painted and you thought, oh, it's just inevitable. Because then what choices are you going to make if that's where you think you're going to end up anyways? Why?
You're gonna
why?
bad choices.
Why work hard if you think oh, well, I'm going to be that anyhow? And I disagree. And to his point about feeling 21, your body innately is able to handle micro stressors. So I'll liken it to my patients often that you have a cup, and every time a stressor is added, your cup gets filled, and then sometimes you'll take a stressor out. You might go for a walk, you might eat something healthy, you might get adjusted.
Yay.
And so then you make more room for the next day for more stressors. But if you're not actively and consciously removing those stressors, your cup's going to floweth over, and those are symptoms. That's what you're going to come in talking, or that's the next day that you're going to be like, why do I have a headache?
Wow. Very good. I couldn't have said it even any better. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I guess naturally you're adding to it. Something's adding to it because there's always something. It's inevitable.
It could be environmental stressors, which is why we also love the detox. You can't help what's in the air when you're, driving around sometimes.
In Seabrook, and there's a barge that crashes into another. I mean, I didn't plan for that.
And there's just I think it's sometimes out of the reach of our human brain because we're such a knowledgeable species that you're kind of like, well, I can't measure that. Well, you can't, because there actually is no vessel within your body to measure that, quote, stress. So you have to listen to your symptoms. And you don't want to believe that you're less smart than your medical doctor or your other, you know yourself best. Why can't you recognize something's wrong with you? You don't need a research article to tell you exactly why something's wrong. You recognize the symptom pattern, and you should say, I don't want this anymore. Who can help me get rid of it?
Absolutely. And I think that's a misnomer. People come in and they have forgotten how to be in touch with their body. And they don't know what it is to feel good. They accept because they've been told, well, I'm sorry, you're just getting older, or they're offered just another drug or a steroid, and they're out of ideas on how to move forward. And then we have a lot of the, we have a lot of professionals out there that are telling people diet doesn't have an impact. Well, then try not eating and let me know how that works out for you. I mean, yes, it does. If you eat poorly, you're going to develop poorly. And so we have to look at, all of these factors, and I think, truly it starts with a decision. What do you want, and what are you willing to do to get it?
Do you think some things are not diet related, or at the end of the day,
Can you give me an example?
I would say I got, I would say a cold. I know a cold, like we've discussed this one, but sugar, like
This is a good one.
cancers and things like, I broke my arm, maybe my bones, I don't know. I should have had a better diet. I could have been stronger. I don't know.
I mean, so let's say, so my daughter, I think she's pretty healthy, and she's coming down the stairs. She gets her arm stuck between the wall and the banister, and slips, just randomly slips, right? Breaks her the radial head of her arm, and that at some level there's going to be accidents and injury, right? I mean. And that's okay. I don't know that we could have done anything better to prepare for her not to break her arm, other than not have a staircase in her house. You know what I mean? But I don't know how to predict those things, right? And so, but whenever it comes to a cold, for example, when a cold comes on me, I look at what have I been doing, okay? And I go back 3 to 5 days, and I assess, did I do anything different in my diet? Have I added any new routines to my lifestyle? And so the last little cold that I got, it was just a few weeks ago, and it's the first time I'd been sick in 12 months or so, and it was the weirdest thing how it came on. Woke up on a Tuesday morning, and I had a sore throat. Oh, no big deal, 15 Congoplex.
We recognized it, but we didn't want to bring it up.
Well, I appreciate it.
You were in here.
And I mean, it was cray-cray to me. But this is what
the show had the best views ever.
I know, it was
did.
amazing.
It
Actually,
was nuts. There's like 40 people tuning in,
well,
and Choppa's
but that's how you know.
Sick?
That's how you know, though, that God is in control, right? Like it's not in my strength that anything gets done. And what is a testament to that is I got through my shows, and you guys could pick up on it because y'all hang out with me every week, and y'all look at me in the eyes, and y'all can see when I'm up.
I try
down.
not to look you in the eyes, but
I know,
okay. But anyways,
so
he
powerful.
feels shame.
But anyway, what I noticed that I had done the prior weekend is I had done not one but 2 sessions of hot cold therapy at the gym. So I was in a hot steam room, sweating stuff out for 10 minutes, and the first round, and then I went and took a cold shower. Then I went into 160 degrees, dry sauna, and burned out in there, and then went and took a cold shower. Then I went back in the steam room and did it a third time, and I literally and then one more cold shower, and I went home and I slept like I was exhausted, and then I did that again on Monday, and and so I did it twice back to back, and then Tuesday morning I woke up feeling, cruddy. So I think at some level we can download, we can put ourselves in a state where we're more apt to download a bug. And I think that's what happened is I pushed my detox button a little too hard, and I pushed my system into a minerally depleted state. And so diet could have potentially fixed that, or I could have just been like, well, there is an overdo button.
Yeah.
Don't overdo anything, and too much of even a good thing is potentially hard on the body.
Yeah, I remember in school people not getting sleep and
Getting sick around finals.
Sick. Yeah.
And you can always tell when finals are around because people are getting sick because they're stressed, they're up late, and they're stressed more, and then they're on energy drinks, and then they're stressed some more. I mean, it just doesn't stop, and that constant hammer on you wears your body out. And so if you wear the body out, I don't know that it's not so much that the diet was the factor, it's that you depleted your body of what the diet should bring, and be able to refill. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
And so yes, I think diet plays a part, but at some point we have to still have some kind of level head on our shoulders and get adjusted. Not over detox. But what we put people through with the detox program is absolutely it's not an overkill button that can't be modified. Like I had an email that I dealt with this morning. A lady had, a little bit, more diarrhea yesterday than she expected and didn't feel too good. And so we just took the doses down and dropped the doses. And I go, that just means you do have toxicity in your body, and we have some work to do. No big thing. Let's just slow the process down. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? Like let's keep the same concept and idea moving forward. Let's detox, but let's just detox you a little bit slower, as fast as your body can, but not so fast that we put it into a negative state.
Right now it's 9:50. We have about 10 minutes left with Dr. Chapa and Dr. Amber, and there's two questions. One's kind of a statement, but I'm going to see if I can blend these together. One's from Cherie and the other one's from Solian. Solian said she just wants a random fact. And then the other one is, hey, how do y'all feel about turmeric? So can y'all give us some random facts about turmeric?
Can I do the random fact? I wanted to do a random fact.
You can do random fact, but I have one maybe she doesn't know. I don't mean to be fun.
Okay, mine's not going to be as good as yours.
I doubt it. Don't say that.
I'll take
Go
the
ahead.
turmeric.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Somebody do something.
So I actually use that quite a bit just because there's a product that I've used throughout my entire practice called Boswellia Complex, and that turmeric forte is in there. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming that she's heard through, I don't know,
every social media source
that it's
today.
Anti-inflammatory, and which is true. It is. I love it when we couple it with that herb Boswellia because that's completely. I would say that for the most part, like really truly. Sometimes I have a hard time getting my husband to like really be a purist, but there is like no ibuprofen in our house. So this has 100% replaced ibuprofen.
Wow.
So it for sure has some, it's a powerhouse of NSAIDs. So for the person asking, by the way, turmeric and all those really rich yellow colors that are meant to be anti-inflammatory really need a fat source to be absorbed. So it's just a fat-soluble phytochemical, so you're going to get a bigger bang for your buck if you're choosing turmeric, if you maybe eat something with coconut oil on it, or you eat it or take it after a meal.
Or just cod liver oil.
True.
I mean,
yes.
and that just goes to, the fats become vehicles. They allow the transition of the minerals from intake to their cellular destination.
Mm-hmm. So did you have a random fact? And is it about turmeric or is it about something else, Dr.
Oh,
Chapa?
no. So I could give you one cool one about turmeric, and I said it earlier, but turmeric also stimulates brown fat production in the body, which kids have a ton of, which was why kids seemingly can eat anything, and they're they're just amazing, like energy bubbles. And that's the brown fat in the body. That's energy production. Turmeric stimulates the production of brown fat and allows the body to also be more metabolically active. But my random fact was that, if you are or know someone that has osteoporosis, osteopenia, which is basically a bone disorder, because we were just kind of mentioning bones a little while ago, that osteoporosis and osteopenia are childhood disorders. They are not elderly disorders. And so there's your random fact, that we need to get mineral saturation earlier in life. If we start out in the developmental years deprived of nutrition, then we are more set up to have debilitating illnesses later in life. And osteoporosis and osteopenia has been proven for that. And so hopefully that's a good enough one for you, Ms. Solian.
Did you have a random fact, Curt?
I didn't have a random fact, but I will say my random fact is you should do apple cider vinegar if you have smelly feet, because I have done it twice now.
And for 2 weeks in a row, you have not had any smelly feet at all?
No, so I did it once. It lasted for about 3 weeks, and then the smell came back, and I was like, I'll do another foot bath with apple cider vinegar. So, yes, it worked. And I only say this and bring it up as my random fact because she asked, what are your thoughts about taking a shot of apple cider vinegar when waking up, ?
Oh, absolutely. Used to do that a lot. I don't do it as much anymore, but, I mean, I do other things. So I'm always doing things to kind of perk the body up and get circulation happening, lymphatics, things moving. But, you could take the apple cider vinegar, mix it with turmeric, just some powder, and you could a little lemon juice and shoot that baby down, and you got yourself a virgin hot toddy. I mean, and it'll open up your sinuses. It'll get your lymphatics moving, and that's what basically a hot toddy is supposed to do. It's supposed to get your lymphatics moving.
So I have some random facts too. I actually have 3.
He's Googling it.
I
This
did.
isn't
see that.
fair. This is
We did that off the top of our head.
Yeah, that's right.
This is off the top of my head, actually. If you're listening on 99.5 FM, so if you know, so the average person will spend 6 months of their life waiting at red lights, waiting for them to turn green. And then here's another one: a bolt of lightning contains enough energy to toast 100,000 slices of bread. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Y'all are welcome.
Dude, a bolt of lightning is also like 1.21 gigawatts. Did you know that?
1.21 gigawatts. Yes.
Yeah.
My favorite movie ever.
So, guys, I want to say first, Dr. Amber, thank you for joining me this morning.
So glad to be here.
And, hopefully I can twist her arm and come back next week while I'm on my little trip with my family. I'm going to go to Mo Ranch next week. I'm taking my kids out and my wife, and we're going to like a Christian, family camp kind of thing.
Awesome.
So never done anything like that. So I'm kind of excited and nervous at the same time. But it should be cool. And
you know what? Why don't we just join you and we'll do the show with you?
We could zip line. I mean, we could ride horses. I think I'm sold. Let's do it. And because that could be a part of like lifestyle, like taking the break. Taking a break from the crazy of what we do day in day and change our space. I think that's another healthy tip.
You're taking something out of your stress bucket, right?
That's right. So hey,
Soliana appreciates the facts.
So we're Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center. We believe that all life starts and stops at the cellular level, and nutrition is a fundamental backbone that allows your body to work better, perform better, age better, and become more graceful. So we just want everybody to know that if you have symptom patterns, anything that you have been dealing with, headaches, allergies, belly pain, joint pain, whatever it is, you can't sleep at night, Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center wants to be your team partner in getting well, staying well, and living well. And we know that it happens through one bite at a time. We know that one adjustment at a time, one lifestyle tip at a time. We are a wealth of information here to give you tools to live your best life. And we want you to know that we want to be on your team, and we're inspired to watch God continue to push us to be better ourselves. And so we want to be, a positive movement in your family's life and your future family's life as this, aging thing is happening. The great continuum is ongoing, but we can control more than we give ourselves credit for, and we can live better. We can live with less pain, less diagnosis, less or no medications, because we want people to live life with no drugs, no medications, and still have the level of productivity and firepower that I think God wants all of us to do. I mean, one of my favorite scriptures is Romans 12:1. It says, I beseech thee, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. So we are called to honor God through honoring our bodies and in maximizing the potency that we can deliver to our society and to our fellow friends and loved ones. So God bless you all, and make sure that you all are tuned in next week. Detox, if you're detoxing, come hook up with us, 281-554-8600.
And like KHEA Radio, right?
Like Dr. Choppa.
On Facebook.
Like KHEA Radio, smash that like button right now. Say, I love us. I love you, Dr. Choppa, with a heart for us,
So there's some more questions that are coming in, and if you have any of those and you want to actually message Dr. Choppa's Living Well Clinical Nutrition page, or you can give his office a call, maybe they can help you out, or tune in next week. I'm sorry we weren't able to get everything asked and answered, but that's why Dr. Choppa has made that call, to come back every week and send somebody in. This is Kickstart. We're going to take a break. We'll come back and talk to Lindsay from Butler's Courtyards, KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. This is Toby Mack. I just need you. Stay tuned.
Man, I always get disappointed when we have a good song like that, and then we don't get to listen to it.
There you go.
Some days it'll lift you up, some days it'll call you bluff. Man, most of my days I ain't got enough.
Oh, okay. Enough music for you, sir. That's enough.
Well, thanks for inviting me over.
Thank you for coming.
So wait, were you saying you're not here next week?
I'm not here next.
Is Dr. Amber coming? Or somebody coming?
Somebody will be here.
Okay.
We'll make it happen. So that's what I wanted Dr. Amber to have a chance to kind of see
Yeah.
what the environment's
I
like.
don't
That's
mind.
not
I think
too-
I just don't know if I feel like a natural.
Can
Good.
Ashley also come and bring her McDonald's with her?
I don't know if she's still listening.
Or some apples. Kurt told me the other day, remember when Dr. Chapa, when he first came on, and then Ashley came from his office
when
and brought
Dr.
us
Chapa
apples?
used to love us,
Yeah,
and he'd
those were
bring
the
us
days.
apples.
Oh, man.
Hey, I'm just.
And I bring him a grapple, and he like freaks out.
I mean, but it was still. I mean, I just remember looking back all those wonderful chemicals you pumped in last week.
Hey, it got you over your sickness.
No, that was 2 weeks ago. So, all right, gang. Well, y'all are awesome. I hope y'all have a great day, and till next time.
You too.
Thank you, Dr. Chapa. Coming up next, we're going to have... Ooh, Ashley says, I'll bring you something, but not McDonald's.
That's right.
Burger King.
Burger King.
Later.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for hanging
It
out.
was nice meeting you.
What's your name?
I'm Kurt.
Okay.
Gardy.
Okay. Nice to meet y'all.
You too. All right, so we're going to have Lindsay in studio from Butler's Courtyard. We can talk and focus on Kurt's wedding still. He's been saying he's going to get married in February 2020, so we're going to see if it happens.
Whew.
I think
There's
he
a
may
big
not be able to
ploy.
wait.
A
He may not-
big opportunity.
for your wedding?
Yo, yeah, right here, February 2020.
Here? Are we doing it in here or are we doing it at Butler's Courtyard?
I feel like both places.
So you're going to have two weddings. You're going to go
Two.
on like a wedding worldwide tour.
A wedding worldwide tour that starts at Butler's Courtyard.
Okay. That's fair. I feel like you need several ceremonies and
I feel like if you're not doing several ceremonies, there's something that you're not doing correctly.
what's the need for several ceremonies?
It's your opportunity to just have lots of free gifts.
Oh, okay.
See? See?
Yeah, but
Like
couldn't
if
you
you-
just invite everybody to the one location like Butler's
Yeah,
or
but what
here?
if they can't make it to that location? Mm-hmm. So then you have a separate location, and then you say,
But it's the same day, right? Or are you saying like, oh, you have one day and one the next day?
Yeah, so then everybody has a chance to experience it and bring you gifts.
What kind of gifts are you asking for?
Toasters.
You don't need toasters.
Blenders.
You can actually toast 100,000 slices of toast with one bolt of
light.
If you just harness that energy correctly, then you don't need any toasters as a wedding gift.
None at all.
How's it going?
Hi.
Y'all are talking wedding gifts?
Yes.
Toasters, blenders,
He's like, yeah.
couches, TVs,
A new house.
a new house, AC for my Jeep Compass.
That would be actually a really good
Oh
gift.
man, we still have to. Why did we bring that? Today's like another hot day. Oh,
You know, I'm trying to be careful with talking about temperature right now because it's only gonna get hotter.
It is.
And so when people are like, "Oh my gosh, it's so hot," or "I don't want to go outside, it's so hot,"
God's
I'm trying
like-
to be super mindful. Like, no, it's not bad, you guys. It's okay because once July comes,
You ain't seen nothing yet. Yeah.
exactly.
oh man. So I have a month to get my insurance, or not my insurance, my AC working again.
With registration, everything, really.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Riding around dirty. Literally and figuratively. And like us too, because we're sweaty, but it's great. Hey, Angie Butler said vacation gift cards. That's a good option.
Yeah, a lot of people do like a honeymoon registration.
Ooh.
That word doesn't sound right, but I'm going with it anyways.
Yeah.
And you can build a website or some sort where they can contribute to that.
So it would be a, well, you can make that copyright like Butler's Courtyard, honeymoon registration. Copyright.
We totally
2019.
could. We have a travel agent that we work with. So that's Janice. She's with Sunset Travel Team.
Awesome.
She can take care of that. Yeah.
She said
She's
people-
who sent me to Costa Rica. So
What?
it's cool.
You went to Costa Rica?
On my honeymoon. Yeah.
For your honeymoon?
Yeah.
How was that?
It was a lot of fun. I will tell you a few things about this.
Mm-hmm.
It was my first time to leave the country. And so that was pretty intense, especially when you're coming down from wedding planning and this super awesome experience. You spend so much time focusing on the wedding and the planning that I didn't spend a whole lot of time planning for Costa Rica. And so, you know, there's very little cell service there, even if you have an international plan. I had no idea how their like first response team worked. So whenever we arrived, they're like, yeah, our officers drive with their lights on all the time. You don't have to pull over. And I'm like, but what if it's an emergency?
Yeah.
And they said, well, they'll find a way around you. Like,
Okay, then. Yeah.
okay, so don't get hurt, because there are many times where the road just goes one lane over these teeny tiny bridges. And so how do they go around you? And they don't. You're going to be backed up at that point, So just things like that. And you can't read road signs unless you can speak Spanish there. So
You don't speak Spanish?
Not well. Not well.
Poquito español.
And speaking it and reading road signs are totally. I'm just trying to guess what the picture means at that point.
And you're probably like cruising like 90 miles an hour because there's a cop car behind you. You're like, I don't know if I'm supposed to speed up or get out of the way. So what did I say?
I can't pull over anymore.
I can't read that. It's super fast.
Yeah.
Cool. So Kurt's been saying, unprovoked, he's for sure getting married February 2020. Even so, we called his mom and we looked up to see when Valentine's Day fell in the week.
Yeah.
And I think it's on a Friday.
It is on a Friday. And
What does that mean for you guys?
Well, I have good news for us, but I have bad news for Kurt. The date
Oh, no.
booked.
That's what I would.
We
what I
booked it
thought.
last week.
So you guys aren't doing the same thing that you did last
Oh,
year.
we're doing the elopement extravaganza. Extravaganza.
Like in the
But-
daytime?
Yeah.
And then in the evening will be.
See, I'm still good.
He
I'm
wants
still
the
good.
elopement
You
extravaganza.
can do the elopement package. Absolutely.
Man, if you're not getting eloped, are you really having a wedding?
Coming from someone in the wedding industry, I'm going to have a different version there. But
Yeah.
If you're not getting eloped, are you having a wedding?
Okay, so let's
Things
say
Kurt says on the radio.
Friday, February 14th, 2020, and we do our show again from Butler's Courtyard. You're getting married. Are
True.
we allowed to broadcast it
Yeah.
Yeah.
on Facebook and everything?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's
I decided for him.
Yeah.
yeah, she's like, oh, yeah.
Yes, we
yes,
are.
we are.
Should we go ahead and make the Facebook event for it?
Yes.
Kurt's and start inviting people?
Start inviting people.
How many people can we
Well, y'all,
can we invite?
I love your followers. I do, and I love our followers. But we got to, keep it within reason there.
I already hit send on the event.
It's a
So,
great
like,
thing there's that edit button.
What's the cap? Like, how many people can we invite to his?
Valentine's Day extravaganza elopement special is really, we don't put a cap on it. We just ask that you keep in mind that we're working in 15-minute windows.
Okay.
And so
1,500 people.
You have your 15 minutes for your ceremony, for your pictures, and then it's time for you to move on to the next stage, receiving your cake like we did last time, and then the next person's coming in for their ceremony.
I feel like the cake is the one that's going to consume the most amount of time. Like that's the
He has to
most.
You
finish
take
it.
it with you.
I don't-
It's not something
He's gonna
you
eat it.
can, you can walk and eat it if you want.
No, I need it there as part of the ceremony. Like I'm eating. Like I do.
You
I
can
do.
eat it when you come sit down and start broadcasting again.
Deal.
How about that?
Deal for sure. Deal.
Yep. So Kurt's wedding, I guess we're going to have to make sure that it is streamed on the internet so that way everybody will be able to attend. And I think you will be accepting gifts and creating registries. I have no doubt in my mind. Because is that the most exciting part of the whole event is the gifts for you?
I feel like it's gonna be because I need the TV, I need the couch. I don't have a couch
You
yet.
know, forget the marrying the love
The
of
wife,
your life
yeah.
part. This one day you're going to remember for the rest of your life.
Yeah. It was an episode of Friends, I'm pretty sure. Ross and Rachel, they got married, and then they started getting the gifts, and then they were playing it up. Oh, it was beautiful. I was in Butler's Courtyard, and the dove came and flew and
That's
landed right on
right.
the bouquet. It's gonna be.
And Ross was like, "I got a TV out of it."
Yeah, and he was fine.
fine.
Yep. So, y'all have some events that are coming up, really quick, right?
Yes, you guys, we are killing it right now with events. I'm telling you what, summertime is such a busy time for us because we have all of our school educators and just school professionals that are off for the summer. So it's a great time for them to come tour, and brides, couples that are in college, whether not only are they off, but a lot of them come back home
Yeah.
for that time. So we do tons of open houses to give them plenty of opportunities to come aside from one-on-one. So our first one is this Thursday, actually.
Hey, what's the trend of people getting married? Are they getting married earlier now, 18, 19, 20, 21, or people are waiting, or is it a mixture all over the place?
We talk about this at Butler's Court, the team and I in the office, because you do see such a wide variety, and I don't know if it's specific to our venue or pretty much any venue, but we have our couples that come in that are honestly fresh out of high school. sometimes that are getting married, and then we have our couples that are coming in on their second marriage, their right marriage this time, and so they're older, in their 40s to 50s sometimes. So it's
all over, huh?
All over. But most of the time you tend to see like 25 to 32-ish or so.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. So I was 28. Yeah, I'm 33. Time flies. I'll say that.
22.
I've been married 5 years. I was 19. I don't know. But but yeah.
I feel like I'm 19 still.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier too. Dr. Chopin and Curt was like, I feel like I don't need to change my diet because I feel like I'm 21. You know, I feel great. You know, and
I ran with that guy perfectly for a second.
We were doing some filming, and he actually had his camera, and there was a gentleman. He had his 26.2, shirt on, marathon. I feel like you probably run with that crowd. Very health conscious.
Run with that crowd. I like what you did there.
Doing the yoga in the park, running the marathons, the 5Ks.
Hey, being a marathon runner is a dream self of mine. Not there quite yet, but
I ran with him for like a block.
oh, nice.
Yeah, he
Not
did
even.
like filming him, and then he came back, and I was like, Curt, you're too far. You're not able to come back.
I was like, we asked for 2. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was stressful. It was stressful.
Is that something
running.
else you think people kind of maybe wait on? Like, well, maybe I want to make sure that I look perfect in the dress, or I can't get married now because
Yes.
XYZ.
Yes. I mean, I have heard couples say that. I don't think it's a determining factor for a lot of them. But what's more important is that your health is so much more than the way that you look. It's about the way that you feel. And so that's exactly why our evening open house this Thursday is over health and fitness.
Awesome. Hey, we got 10 seconds. We're going to go on, and then we can talk about that open house.
Let's do it.
Here we go. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. That was Phil Wickham on KHEARadio.com at 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. I'm Gardy.
Wickham. And I'm Curt.
It's 10:11 on a Tuesday. We had Dr. Aaron Chapa in studio. Now we're going to be talking to Lindsay from Butler's Courtyard about everything that's going on in the community. They're having a ton of events that are coming up. Kurt's planning his wedding, and I feel like that may be one of the biggest ones. But before we get into all of that, which there's going to be plenty of time, I'm sure he's excited.
Be careful though, because I feel like people are assuming that I'm engaged, and that's not the case yet.
Hey,
then
y'all,
why are you talking about it?
We have people come tour all the time that aren't engaged yet because dates go quickly and because they know and they're ready to start planning. So
Smart.
Nobody says you have to be engaged to come tour the venue.
I saw on Facebook the other day, and I feel like this is probably the most important step. And they were like, hey, we need a hashtag for the event. Like, we need a hashtag for the wedding. And I'm like, knocking the toughest decision out right away. Like, get that hashtag because everything else isn't important. That hashtag is.
The name was Blaylock. It's Kaylee Sapp from Escape KHEA, but it was Blaylock, I believe. And so people were coming up with some catchy things for that, like locked Blaylock.
I do have an issue with people though, like because I that was one of the ones that was like locked up. People are like, oh, time to tie the knot, time to get the ball and chain, and I'm like, weddings are supposed to be fun and enjoyable, but some people don't take it that way.
Hashtags are fun. Is that something that you sometimes will help with?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like you've probably seen them all.
In fact, it's part of our planning process is asking the couple's hashtag because it helps us get an idea of what their vision is.
Yeah.
The hashtag process starts from the engagement, typically, once you say yes and you get that cute Instagram picture with the ring, there's usually a hashtag that goes with that. And so it helps us just kind of see where you are in the planning process. We have custom signs at our venue where it says, oh gosh, I can't think of it right now, but help us share this moment with hashtag ...
Awesome.
So we see some really fun, cute ones. So that's always a bonus.
So there is an event that's coming up quick. What is that one?
That is our evening open house and Ask the Expert event over health and fitness.
Awesome.
Yep.
So who's going to be there?
We have Dr. Amber, who was just on. She's coming out that evening. We have a masseuse that we work with that will come out on wedding day to just help everyone stay calm and
I need a
stress-free.
masseuse right now.
And we have the fitness center at South Shore coming out to talk about their gym memberships and classes that they have, ultimately, again, with ways to stay healthy, but mainly stress-free. That's what we're focusing on.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know, there's a lot of stress in the world.
There is, and there's a huge stigma, I think, that you have to be stressed when you're planning your wedding. And that is exactly why Butler's Courtyard was founded, because no, you don't have to be stressed while you're planning a wedding. Let us help you.
You remove the stress.
Exactly. So that it can
Butler's
be fun
Courtyard.
the way it's supposed to be.
So the wedding would be perfect for the bride and groom, for the families. Y'all handle the stress. How do you deal with the stress? Because you're just taking everybody else's, right?
Well,
or not really?
Not really, because it's what we do. So whenever it's your profession, you know what steps to take, where when you become stressed because you're unfamiliar with your environment, because
Okay.
you don't know how to handle the situation, where we know, okay, this is the next step, or this is the next step, or honestly, we've already prepared for this. There's already a plan in place.
You know what? We had Jake Williams in. He's a local MMA fighter training out of Algar's Premier Martial Arts, and he was explaining that whenever somebody gets choked out, or they get put in, fight, flight, run, I don't know what I'm going to do, right? That your brain goes through like almost like a Rolodex. So whenever people say, I saw my life flashing before my eyes, your brain is trying to go find a similar moment. And how did I get out of it? So if you don't have anything, that's when you like freeze up, lock up, and you're like, don't know what to do. So I think that's why a wedding with rehearsals could be so important, because a lot of people, that's going to be the only time they ever do that. They've never been in a situation like that with everybody staring.
Right.
So that's why it's important to do those rehearsals and
Yeah.
have an expert there.
Well, and it's so much more than the rehearsal. It's the entire planning process, because most of the time, nobody's planned a wedding before. And so unless they were recently in a bridal party, or some of our couples have been married before, but the reason they choose Butler's Courtyard is because it is completely different compared to their first marriage.
Yeah.
Or they realized how difficult that one was, and so they want an all-inclusive, relaxed environment, feel, planning experience.
Yeah. Or times changed. Too, like hashtags. Like if someone got married in their 20s and then they're in their 40s or 50s and they're trying to get married again.
That's true. They come in and say, I don't even know what to do.
Right.
I have no idea how to handle this. That's what we're here for.
Yeah. And y'all are a lot more than just wedding ceremonies and receptions and planning events, right? What else do y'all offer?
Well, right now it's heavy on my heart, but it is an opportunity to share that we do celebrations of life as well. We've had a dear, dear friend in our industry suddenly pass, and as hurt as all of us are, we're able to celebrate his life at Butler's Courtyard. And so that is something we can do too. It's another event that usually a lot of people aren't prepared for, that they've never done before, and something, again, for you to be in the moment and not worried about hosting or cleaning or setting up. And so we can step in and take care of that as well. We have a lot of availability. Weddings tend to be on the weekends. Celebrations of life happen all the time. And then corporate events, lunches, showers, bridal showers, baby showers. We are doing an anniversary gala. So that is this month. It's in a couple weeks. And it's for couples who've been married 10 years or more. So this is a great opportunity for couples who were married at Butler's Courtyard to kind of relive the
Come
night.
back.
But also for any couple that has been married 10 years or longer, or if this is their 10th year of marriage, then they're welcome to join for that event. So
I've seen a lot of people excited about that because we have shared that out. We think it's one of the best things that you can do. Kind of, hey, let's celebrate. 10 years is a huge accomplishment.
Every year is a huge accomplishment, honestly. But 10 years, I mean, there's a small number of couples that get that far sometimes. And so, yeah, it's a big celebration, and we want to help.
Okay, cool.
Are you looking forward? You got 5 more years. You're halfway
5
there.
more years, yeah. It was 5 years in May, and next 5 years we can do some cool stuff. I know my wife would love that because our wedding was great. I enjoyed it, but she had her hand in it a lot more than I did. Making the decisions. My job was to show up. To be honest, and like picking colors, which that was a big task. Not a big task for me, but I wasn't prepared to go in and just be like picking centerpieces and all this stuff like that. But I think that she would love to be involved, helping plan another wedding or a gala or showing up to an event celebrating.
Yep.
It's fun, I guess.
It is. It's a lot of fun. It takes you back. And, the reality is when you're 10 years in, your life is so different than it was in that year one. A lot of time there's kids or multiple kids involved, job changes that may have you and your significant other or your spouse out of town.
Yeah.
So just getting that night off can be hard when you're 10 years in. And so just the opportunity to be with other married couples that are in the same boat as you. And just, it's a BYOB style event. We provide dinner and the DJ, it is a limited, there's limited availability. And the DJ will play the first dance song of each couple and just kind of let them stroll down memory lane a little bit. So
DJ, hit the track.
DJ, so what song are you singing? I'm singing all the songs.
Go ahead and sing a song right now, Curt, if you're... I'm just kidding. Don't sing a song. Please don't sing a song.
Dang. See, I need... The hardest thing about these things is it needs to be me. It needs to be all about me. I can't share the night with somebody else. Like, that's... Like,
what about your wife, your future wife? Could you share the night with her?
His hashtag is going to be solo.
Right until I die.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so Curt has been saying he's going to get married in February 2020. We called his mom the other day, and she had already looked at the dates. She was like, well, Valentine's Day is on a Friday. And we're like, whoa, so she's been planning the wedding too.
She told me what? She was like 20. She was like 20 is what I should get married. I'm like, Mom, then I have to have 2 gifts.
What?
Like, I'd have to have the Valentine's and then do the anniversary. And I just want to knock it all out in one. Like, that makes no sense.
No comment.
There's a lucky lady out there somewhere who's going to be able to spend their life with Curt. Right?
Wow. You make
What
it
are some
sound like
popular
you make
dates?
it sound like it's like a bad thing. Oh, yeah, I want to know this. What are some
Especially with it being
Yeah.
like
2020 is a big one. 2020 is going to be a great year.
Is that one booked already?
One of the first dates to book was 10/10/2020.
Ooh, okay.
It's also leap year, so that date was one of the first to book. Halloween books pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And then we are starting to get into those other numbers like the 2/2020. I think that might be a Sunday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And I think one was 4/4. Yeah.
What's the furthest out that you can remember somebody has booked? Like, whether that was due to a significant number date.
Yeah.
Like if someone's like, well, I want 2/22, or something random like that.
So the reality is we do limit our availability. So we're not currently booking 2021 right now.
Okay.
We are receiving inquiries for it. And if somebody's interested, then absolutely we can talk about it. But usually right now they're not ready to commit to an actual putting a deposit down and securing their date. New Year's Day was the one that's currently on our calendar that booked pretty far out because she wanted that date so bad.
Yeah.
They did, yeah.
Well, that's smart.
Or New Year's Eve. It's New Year's Eve. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And those dates, just so most anybody listening, and with most venues, you're going to go into holiday rates and increases at that point, just because it's people want the day off.
In summer, is it the same way as well? With you mentioned teachers being off of school, even students back from college or having more free time.
Yeah, we do tend to see a lot of our educators or college students with summer or spring break or winter break. That's what they come in looking for.
Are there, speaking of dates, it's weird. I grew up in Nebraska, and one of the things that you don't do in Nebraska is in the fall,
Right.
you don't schedule a wedding
Right.
unless it's on the bye week.
Right.
You literally don't. Like,
Yeah.
people don't do that. Is
Yeah.
there something like that in the state of Texas?
It's just based on the individual. I mean, I do have some couples that come in that are like, nope, this is in season. We're not even going to look at this. Rodeo's a big one. Like, lots of couples don't even humor that time frame because they're so busy. But we're lucky to be in such like a melting pot of a city, and that there's always somebody wanting to fill in somewhere.
Wow.
Yeah, there's nothing like that in Nebraska. It's like only Nebraska football. So if you're scheduling, you don't do
Right.
anything unless it's
Well,
Nebraska football.
And one thing that really struck me recently is how blessed we are that we don't have an off season per se, because when you go into northern states, they don't host weddings during the winter time frame because
No.
they're usually bundled up, snuggled somewhere, not leaving as much as they can. So it's just, I was talking to another professional who said we don't do that, whereas we're lucky where we live to be year round. and not have that be an issue.
Growing up, did you always want to work in event planning in the wedding industry?
I never really imagined it, but I started at Butler's when I was 19 years old, so it kind of has been like a growing up portion for me. I was there for a period of time and then took a break and then came back, so it's always kind of been like a home away from home for sure.
Yeah. Wow, that's cool. So you started whenever you were 19's pretty young.
Yeah. It was around there, 1920, something like that.
Yeah, and what role were you serving there?
Well, almost anybody who comes in at Butler's Courtyard will start out as a server. So we believe that you should know the entire aspects of weddings. And I'm now doing sales and marketing. So how can I talk to you about everything that we do if I haven't done it myself? So I have served cake. I have taken linens off at the end of the night, bussed tables. I've cleaned the venue. I've done the grocery shopping, and I've helped coordinate weddings. But my happiness and my strong suits are meeting the new couples from the moment they reach out and showing them around and telling them about us.
I hope Amber's not watching right now. Can you just come work here and help do our events as well?
I that's what I hate. I hate at the end of the night when it's like, oh, we're done, and then it's like, oh, we got like another
break down the tables,
we got
get this
another
and that,
hour
sound system,
of
this
work,
and that.
and I'm like, and then it's like, oh, come on, people, stop mingling so I can start doing my job.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's get it all out there, Curt.
We have a pretty good system in place to take care of that. And again, so here we go. That's why we do what we do, so that it doesn't fall on to the guests, the families' shoulders. That's what we're here. The cleanup at the end of the night, you guys, nobody likes that. And I've done that. I've gone to weddings and
hate it.
That's probably when you're in the wedding industry and somebody's having a wedding, they're like, tell me what, come on, come help me. What do we need to do? And you end up filling in a lot of the gaps, really. And it's hard. It's hard to be dressed nice and to have been enjoying yourself for an evening and then to clean up.
Yeah, I agree. Like sometimes we'll show up and there's awesome things that we get to do all the time, but then it's a team effort, at KHEA and here at Abundant Life. So I always make sure that I have access to a different pair of shoes. I love shoes. It's like one of my things, right? But if I'm wearing like a brand new white pair of shoes, pristine, and I'm like really happy, I feel so good. It can change my whole attitude, and I'm sure a lot of people too. New pair of shoes, it can change you. And you go outside and they're like, well, now you need to paint the parking lot. It's like, I just got my brand new white shoes. Or you need to go walk, even like walking in the grass.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking of when you were talking about all that stuff.
Yeah, it does. It happens all the time around here. But yeah, I hate. At the end of the day, if somebody else can do it, I'm like, I try to find like excuses and be like, actually, I gotta go edit a video. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, I feel you.
Sometimes it works. Sometimes they're like,
no.
Yeah, it is hard. It is hard, but it does create that homely environment. I mean, the other day I cleaned the fridge. Just because this is our home. Like this is where my food goes to, and it's a representation of us. Every little small detail, and so. It just matters what you put in, your work and effort that you put in. And I think it really shows to our couples who come in that this is like our home. We all work to make it be the best that it can be. And we want you to join our family, ultimately.
So you operate under the mentality like who cooks, the other person cleans? No?
Not so much.
Oh.
And you're pretty newlywed as well, right?
Yep.
And so you got back from your honeymoon. Y'all went to Costa Rica. And how long has it been now that y'all have been married?
Oh, gosh. I think like 7 months, maybe, off the top of my head.
I remember their wedding that we weren't in.
I saw the pictures, and it looked like it was awesome.
It was awesome. It was one of my best days ever. And
it's already been 7 months?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are you planning something for like a 1-year anniversary, or what do you
We chat about it. Yeah, we chat about it.
Butler's Courtyard?
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. It's at a busy time of year. Around my 1-year anniversary, I'm also going to be turning 30. So we're talking about quite a few big events, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. We talk about taking a trip or hosting an event with our bridal party again, or
Did he tell us where to go?
Something.
Did he get married to you on your birthday? Like, did he do it the right way?
I get more than one gift, Curt.
Wow. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking ahead. Just thinking ahead.
Kurt was about to like slow clap
I'm
him.
so
Like, touche, good job.
Good guy.
It's 10:28 right now. This is KHEARadio.com, 99.5 FM. If you're watching on Facebook, share this video out. Let us know. Hey, are you married? Are you planning to get married? Do you have any kids? Are they going to be getting married one day? Maybe you're looking to get remarried or have an event somewhere that has nothing to do with marriage. Let us know in the comments if you're watching on Facebook.
I almost just started to sing like the wedding, but then it was definitely the graduation song in my head. I was like,
but we do graduation packages and parties too. So
And we just got through that, huh? So some people probably are still looking to celebrate, you know?
Yep. Absolutely.
What does that usually entail? Because I know what a wedding entails. You know, there's cake, there's the party, there's the toast.
Kind of the same.
And so a graduation party.
You don't tend to see maybe as much dancing, so to speak, as you would at a wedding, because a lot of the graduation parties tend to be more, we do more high school graduations, really, than college graduations. And so the kids at that age, 18 years old, and they're when I see them and they come in, they're like, no, I'm not going to dance, Mom. You know, like, so it's more kind of fun things for them, s'mores bars, yard games, things like that. And then also just kind of like some fun stuff for the parents who are coming.
Well, do you think that those parties are more for the parents to invite their friends and family, or do you think it's more for the kids to invite their friends and have a good time?
I think it's equally both.
Man, I made over $1,000 at my graduation party, so I was happy.
Yeah.
Is that where you're like, I'm going to college, I'm sending out these invites again?
Oh yeah, it was like $100 here, $100 here. I'm like, ooh, Daddy's getting a new computer.
Is that what you did with yours, like with your money?
Oh yeah.
I bought a drum set. I did. I was like, sweet.
Goals.
I got drums. And I learned how to play drums. I taught myself how to play drums on it.
Man, then my mom figured out, like, you know those surge protectors that we have? She's like, oh, well, I'll just start giving surge protectors. And everybody else started doing surge protectors. And Adam's like,
Like
no,
as a
I just
graduation
want
gift?
Yeah, I'm like, just give me the money.
$12.
$12.
Give me
the
the $7.
I don't care. I don't want no surge protector. And she's like, it's such a good idea. I bought like 8 of them. So when I get invited, I just give them a surge. I'm like, Mom, everybody's going to hate you. Why would you give them surge protectors?
Wow. So what is a good gift for graduation that doesn't break the bank? Maybe a little bit better than a surge protector, and then wedding gifts as well.
Can I answer that? It's cash. Cash.
I think when you go with graduation, that is a good idea, because the reality is you're going off to college where you kind of are in this adolescent stage and you learn some money management. And so cash always helps college kids from my experience. Or gift cards, gas gift cards, grocery store gift cards, you know, fast food gift cards, things like that. Wedding gifts, you know, that also depends, because we are in a new generation now. A lot of our couples have been living together for a period of time, and so they kind of have a lot already. Traditionally, the couple would marry and then move in together, and so they need a bunch of stuff. They need the blenders and the toasters and the plates and the cups and, you know, coasters and all that. So nowadays, of course, the registry, sticking to the registry helps, and a lot of couples are doing Amazon registries, which are really cool because the gifts go straight to your house instead of waiting until the wedding day. And in my experience, that was like a fun surprise every day, because there was something
shows up,
always showing up.
I have a question, Gardy, and this comes down to my wedding, right?
Of course, it always does. Comes back to you. I'm shocked.
This is my world. You guys are just characters
Of course.
in the story.
Yeah.
Anyways, the one thing, like, so at your wedding, you guys had it at Olympia Grill, like your
We didn't
reception.
have yes, we had the reception
at Olympia Grill.
That's correct.
So y'all weren't dancing.
You don't know what I was doing. You weren't invited.
I know, but
Burn.
But then the other
I didn't know
wedding
him yet. Yeah.
at the other wedding that was associated with somebody who worked for the church, I noticed that there also wasn't dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Do I not get to have a dance floor at our wedding because of like people that like don't dance here? Is that something I should be like thinking ahead on now? Like, no, just have a reception with dinner.
Let me help you out. You shouldn't have dancing at your wedding because you can't dance. Not because of anything associated with the church.
I can dance.
I've seen you dance. It's
Prove
terrible.
it.
He does like the, you know, like the cha-cha slide and all that. And he's like, oh, yeah. And he gets out there and he's just like hopping around like this and just looks like. Have you seen the movie Flubber?
Oh, yes.
Great movie, right?
Yeah.
He's Flubber. He's out there. Flubber's just like bouncing around, swinging his hands back and forth. And it's.
I am a great line dancer. Great line dancer. I'm not even from Texas, and I can line dance. What?
Okay, well, no, you can have it's your wedding. It's your day, Kurt.
Okay, good.
It goes back to you, man. Maybe you should ask your future wife what she wants.
That also, it's my wedding.
He's made that very clear. Hashtag solo, remember.
This is my wedding.
Man, I'm in shock. Let's take a break. This is KHEA
You
Radio.
gotta take a break after that?
99.5 FM. I gotta decompress.
Decompress.
Hey, Maisie, she's a college student. You know, she's recently, she's attending University of Texas at Austin. So it was your freshman year, right?
Yeah, it was hard and fun and all these different things at the same time.
But what did you appreciate as a high school graduate? What were you like excited about getting? What were some of the things you got, I suppose?
Money.
Money was the best, right?
Yeah, definitely. It helped. I know Mr. Casper and a whole bunch of other people from the church, they like gave me money and a card, and it was really sweet. That was really nice.
Well, maybe he signed the card. Let's
He
just
signed
say
the card, yeah.
He doesn't really let go of.
I'll bring it tomorrow. Yeah, and then dorm like things like bedding and things like that.
Yeah.
They were really nice to have, so
Yeah.
I didn't have to spend money on it. So it was
Right.
really nice having that.
They gave you a card?
Yeah, you got everyone in the church to sign
Oh,
it.
I did.
Did you not buy the card?
I did that. I forgot about that, actually. That's
Well, I
shocking.
guess all the sentimental feelings that associate with that are all like just gone
I'm
now.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
She still had the card.
She
still has the card, Kurt.
I forgot. It was a
I mean,
year ago.
honestly, that seems like a lot for him because he's trying to like combine gift giving with his future wife. So
I just haven't ever done that before, so like it's shocking to me. Like, wait, I did that one time in my life.
Wow.
Just the one time. Just be thankful that it was you. The one time that I've ever done something like that.
I know, I am honored. I guess I
Must
have to
be
keep it
my
until-
favorite student of all time.
So okay, you're getting married in February. Is the plan? Are we flying your mom in? Does she
No.
need to be here? Is she gonna watch the live stream? Like, what's going on? We need to start planning. We're running out of time. How much time do you need to plan a successful wedding? Is February enough time for the wedding of
Oh.
Kurt's dreams?
yes, definitely. I mean, at Butler's Courtyard, we can plan a wedding in a week if we need to.
Week.
Yeah. You just have your dress.
Kurt, you got your
We
dress?
got you.
You probably just try and wear the one that's in the.
The rose
remember
cottage.
when we took that picture in the cottage,
Yes.
in the ladies' cottage, and it
Yes.
was like, "This is Kurt's dress. Can you fit it?" And I was like, "Gardy, stop." Gardy, stop. It was like last September, and I'm like, "Stop. I can't fit in that." And that was the thinnest that I was ever. September.
Well, come to our Ask the Expert Health and Fitness on Thursday.
What time?
7 p.m.
Okay, so 7 p.m. You show up to Butler's Courtyard. It's a good opportunity to check out the facility,
Yep.
and then you can also talk to some of the experts. South Shore Fitness Center. You
Yep.
talk to Dr. Amber,
Yep.
and then who was the other person?
It's going to be Pam. She has her own freelance massage business.
Ah,
Yep. I believe she might even be doing some chair massages.
Wow.
So I think I said that word funny, but
is
You
that
need to get
important?
Dr. Deb there too. I was gonna say.
Have y'all met her? Acupuncture?
I have not personally. No.
Did you
But
see?
we're not opposed to it. We're not opposed to new vendors. 3 is kind of full for us
Yeah.
for this event because it is a more of a timely event since it's evening time. But
Did you see any of the pictures? Let me show you, like us.
I think I do recall
Okay.
seeing some.
Yeah, just us. So she put some in our face, and it was to kind of help with
Yeah.
congestion. And,
Interesting.
And then there was one right here in our forehead, and it was to help like relax. And you know what? It really worked because
Yeah.
we talk pretty fast at times and trying to get a lot out.
Yeah.
Kurt's hit a lot quicker than mine did, but I totally like felt a slowdown and calm, and like I couldn't
Very cool.
speak quick. It was weird.
Got tired. Like I was like falling asleep right here.
Yeah.
He really was.
It was intense, but that's relaxing, and part of relaxing is health and fitness, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever helps couples stay with a reduced stress level. That's what we want to help and take care of them with.
Is that
So
popular for people to bring a massage therapist in the day of the wedding?
I would like it to be more popular for them because I think that they would have a better experience the day of, but it is something that we're trying to push a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, at Butler's Courtyard, you have the houses all day. They open at 10 in the morning. A lot of our couples don't get married until like 5 or 7 p.m. And so you have a lot of time to get yourself pampered. I mean, you will do hair and makeup typically, but that doesn't take more than a couple hours maybe. So it's have her in first thing that morning. It's a great way to start your day.
People probably don't realize that's an option, you know, and I guess if you don't have the right facility, it probably is an option. But when you have so many different buildings and locations like y'all do, then it's real.
Yeah, a lot of venues are just venue only. So there's not a whole lot of help, guidance, encouragement, support that we bring. And so that is a big difference there for sure.
Are there only certain food vendors that y'all work with, or y'all work with most?
We work with a couple that's been with us from the beginning of time, but we're not opposed to working with others. There are a few factors that we want to consider, just a little bit of behind the scenes. Not all restaurant food caters as well as it holds up in store, cooked fresh, made fresh, basically.
Is Robinette one? I just know I hear their name thrown around, so I was like, I'm going to act like I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
we've had their food. It's good.
It is delicious, yeah.
They were at the Lighthouse Christian Ministries Gala.
Yes.
They had catered that.
Yep.
That was them? Oh, that was
They
so
make
good.
amazing stuff.
So good. And the donut wall. I know that wasn't them, but the donut wall.
Donut walls are pretty popular. We, this past weekend or 2 weekends ago, had not only their full dinner buffet, but they also did a sushi bar. So that was a station. There was somebody set up there to roll on site and serve. And then they did a milk and cookie bar, which was a lot of fun, too. Mashed potato bar. We love food stations. I mean, who doesn't love food?
Is
right?
that a newer trend, like having the different stations, or has that been around?
No, it's kind of been around for a few years now. A lot of couples like to go with just more of a buffet style, but what we see a lot of is kind of late night snacks. So
Like
pretty
hors
popular
d'oeuvres.
is actually Whataburger to come in and hand out taquitos towards the end of the night, or honey butter chicken biscuits, pizza. Yeah, it's food's a thing. Food's a thing
I might
right
just
now.
do like crackers and cheese and call it good. Be like, you can go get your own food.
Bugles and Cheese Whiz.
Save. Is that money thing, or
Yeah, save some money. You know, like go spend $5 on your own and
you give everybody $5 and be like, hey, stop at McDonald's on the way home?
Crackers and cheese, okay, but definitely I want dancing at my wedding. Got it. Making notes over here for you.
see. This is the hard part is when you do a wedding, right? Like you're gonna spend upwards. It could be $10,000 or more dollars,
It could
right?
be.
And then you
could be less.
all for your guests to show up, and then your guests are like, "Here, take $20. You know, have a happy life." And you're like, "I spent $10,000 on this, and I'm only gonna get like two
I
back."
tell you what, I look back at my wedding day, and not once do I think I spent this much money for just this. I think that was the best night of my life. We had so much fun.
What? Gardy, don't.
Response?
Nope. I don't have any. I don't have any.
You know, sometimes things do boil down to money, though. But if you're not looking to spend $10,000, I'm sure
Yeah.
there are other options, like
Totally
the
budget-friendly options.
the February thing. That was great. And how much did that cost? Can you explain the extravaganza if
Yeah.
somebody doesn't know?
Yeah.
Extravaganza.
Yeah, we need to do a recording of it for the future shows.
And then just hit the button.
So honestly, I can't recall, and so I'm gonna rely on my team to help me out in the comments. But I think it was like $100 or $200, something like that. It was $100.
It was $100.
Yeah. And so again, you book a 15-minute window for a ceremony at our venue, which is an award-winning venue. And the reason why I embellish on that is because on Valentine's Day, so many couples just go to the courthouse to get married. And not that there is anything wrong with that, but you're very limited on what you can do. You can only bring so many people with you. At our venue, Dad can still walk you down the aisle, which is something that they miss if you choose to go with a courthouse elopement instead. And some of them, depending on your county, will actually increase the rate on Valentine's Day because there is such a high demand of ceremonies that day. So at our venue, you still get the ceremony with the guest amount of your choice. Again, keep in mind what we talked about earlier, just you have a 15-minute window. You can be walked down the aisle. Your children can stand with you. There is a professional wedding photographer included to capture the moment and take formals afterwards. And then our baker, who does all of our wedding cakes, provides a personal cake for you. We did gift bags. Goodness gracious, I think there was a few more things. We had live instrumentals playing that day to walk down the aisle to. And basically just a bunch of vendors jumped in and were like, we want to help with this. And so...
And those boys from KHEA Radio were there.
Yeah, the
Can't forget
opportunity
about
for a
those
radio
guys.
interview.
Can't forget
That was
about
fun.
those guys.
Hey, Sarah from Prepping Sister said, we did food trucks at our wedding, and it was amazing.
Ooh,
That's
food
pretty cool.
trucks is a
We've
really...
done food trucks before. And hey, Sarah, I love her. She's great.
That's how you get away with it.
Making
how-
them
The
pay.
food trucks?
Yeah, you could do the hors d'oeuvres inside, or you'd be like, hey, if you want a full meal, go pay for it on the food trucks. Woo,
Yeah,
brilliant
and,
idea.
There are
Kurt.
ways that you can do it again where it is all inclusive, and so your guests are able to go pick their menu item, and you set up a certain amount or a certain item, and then if they want more, then it could be from their pocket at that point.
Yeah.
But ideally, a flawless experience for them is just everything handled already.
Yep. You got it, Kurt? You got it all worked out, don't you?
I
with the
got it
food
in my
trucks?
head. Food trucks.
I'm keeping notes. We'll see what else comes up along the way.
I bet you, Kurt, like, I could see you being like, telling the food truck, just add like $5 to every menu item and then give that to me because I'm going to pay for the wedding wrapped around through my guests plus the gifts and end up making some like real cash on this. Got it all planned out.
I like this. Yeah, you set yourself up for that 401k, right?
Sure. Yeah. Exactly. Wow. Sarah, yeah.
Oh, man. Sarah said, Kurt, you're not going to get off that easy.
She said we did have portions and paid for it all. So the guests were covered.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man.
It'll be okay. You know, even if you do it in February, you know, on the event of Valentine's Day, like you've been saying.
I need a raise. Can you give me one if I'm still hoping for February 2020? Like,
Odds are you're probably going to get fired by then if we're being real. So you may need to look at some other avenues. But I'll remember that. I'll keep that in mind if you're still here in February. So we got a minute and a half. We'll go back on and then we can talk it out. If you have any questions, let us know.
yes, and we'll touch on again the anniversary stuff because that's this weekend, right?
The open house is Thursday. The anniversary gala is the 21st, June 21st, I think, y'all. That's a Friday. So
yeah,
it is
it's
on our
coming up.
Facebook page. Yep, it is coming up.
We are co-hosts of that event. If you are an organization or a business and you're just tuning in and you want KHEA to promote it, the easiest way, make us a co-host of all your events. It helps.
And we'll look them over and see if it's something that we do want to be a part of.
Yeah, there's one event that we are a co-host of, and it's like this summer activity or something like that in Texas City. It's got like 10,000 reach from our page, and I don't know how it keeps getting shared out.
Yeah.
But I go back through and have to invite. It's like it's been boosted somehow, but it's not boosted from our page. It's crazy. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And the Butler's Courtyard event is doing well as well.
There's a lot of feedback from people that are excited about it, you know, tagging friends, and we've noticed. That's pretty cool.
We're really excited to be hosting again. It's one of our favorite events. The block party we'll have in September. That's another fun one. The Valentine's Day extravaganza is a fun one.
All right. Hey, I'm going to let y'all listen to this. Since I was a little boy.
Jesus.
Because I lost the mouse. Here it goes.
I don't always get married, but on the day I've been dreaming about since I was little, I could give Butler's Courtyard in League City, Texas a phone call. In
True.
one of the oldest buildings in downtown, Butler's Courtyard can host a variety of different events, including your big day. To reach Butler's Courtyard, call 287-557-5551. Stay tuned to KHEA Radio for the different events happening at Butler's Courtyard. We here at KHEA Radio are proud to partner with Butler's Courtyard.
Yes.
It's 1048. This is KHEARadio.com, 99.5 FM. We got Lindsay from Butler's Courtyard. How's it going?
It's going great, you guys. Happy to be here.
I'm Gardy.
And I'm Kurt.
And we are talking about Butler's Courtyard today, talking about planning that next event. Doesn't matter what it is. You know, if you reach out to them, 281-557-5551, then you should be able to get that scheduled, see if y'all can work it out. Go to butlerscourtyard.com as well. Kurt, so you've been dreaming about this wedding day for I mean, since you were a little boy, I just heard it, right?
Yes, this is my day. This is my wedding. Mm-hmm. And I want it to be perfect. I feel like I can do that. Why? Like, I feel as a guy, like that gets frowned upon by other people in society.
Not by me. I know, not by Lindsay.
If it's your day,
But it's supposed to be like, no, that's not right. It's the girl's day.
it's both. It's both.
It's both.
It's both.
Okay. I can maybe step back a little bit from this and
Yeah.
say, yeah, okay.
10 years. Whenever you're married for 10 years and you look back and you want to look back on that special day, like what kind of feelings and emotions do you think that you would have, like yourself?
Well, if it's a good day, like if everything goes the way that I want it to go,
Which, if you're at Butler's Courtyard,
It
would.
will.
right, then yeah, it'll be good memories, and I want to think back. I feel like you have to have video, you have to have pictures, so that on your 10 year you can look
important.
back.
Yeah.
There's an event taking place on June 21st. Can you talk a little bit about it for people who are just tuning in for the very first time?
Absolutely. That is going to be our anniversary gala for couples who have been married 10 years or more. So if you're celebrating your 10-year anniversary this year or longer, you're invited to join us for an evening of dinner and dancing. It's BYOB for you. Spots are limited because we do a lot of special things for each couple. So we do have to kind of limit our crowd there. But it's a great way to relive, wedding night, especially if you were married at Butler's Courtyard. But it is open to all couples. So it's a great date night, honestly. And after 10 years, that can be hard to find.
Man, this is going to be crazy that you have to bring your own bouncers in order for this to work out on that night, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like bounce house?
Yeah.
Bring your own bounce house.
I've seen that. I've seen an article about bounce houses at weddings, just saying.
Like adults would do them as well, or kids
That's
and both?
exactly what it was. It was the couple in there.
I feel like you need to do that before the ceremony and the church service. Like, get all the kids' energy out. Like, hey, go jump. And so then during the ceremony, you sit there.
Yeah.
What are some new trends that you have noticed in 2019, or what is some chatter? Like, is bounce houses one, or even today and beyond?
I'm going to go with a no for the bounce houses, but, food is always trendy and fun. That's something we were just kind of touching up on. Couples bringing in Whataburger, for example, or like the couple who had the sushi bar a couple nights ago. So we tend to see a lot of that. Things that entertain the guests. So food entertains guests. Activities like leave messages for the couple. Wedding last weekend, they did write a letter to the bride and groom, and it will be mailed to them throughout their first year of marriage. And so
like multiple letters?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. So just things like that really really carry over into their year. Where they also did a Jenga game where you just kind of write on the piece things they can keep forever and always look back and reflect on that day for. I think that's what we tend to see more now, is what can we do so that we can carry this day with us forward. And that kind of brings us full circle to the 10-year anniversary gala, a whole way to remember how important wedding day was, because it is this one day that is the best day ever, ultimately.
Yeah.
How important is it, though, to have a strong videographer to capture all of that? Because, when you look back, I look back, I can't even remember what we did yesterday. And yesterday was a crazy day.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even, mentally. But if I look back at the videos, then you can, right?
Yeah. Well, it's super important, in my opinion, to have strong vendors on wedding day, regardless of what they're doing. So a lot of them are already included at Butler's Courtyard, but we don't do photography and videography, for example, but we have great recommendations of people who will, just because, again, the best day possible comes with having the most experienced vendors for a smooth process, because really the wedding isn't over that night, because it still takes weeks to get your pictures in, weeks to get your video in, and it's about more than you guys remembering. There's a lot, honestly, that you do miss on wedding day, because the couple is engaged in themselves and their personal interaction with their guests, which is overwhelming sometimes, but also exciting. But there's a lot of fun things that are happening without the couple, like guests on the dance floor or just silly conversations that these wedding videographers and photographers are trained to capture. And so you do get to see those fun elements when it comes back, even though you might have missed them that night.
That's why I think the trend of having like a disposable camera on the table, because then everybody can kind of pose together, be like, oh, that's what they were wearing. They were there, or, fun, serious pictures as well. And then it's just another way to remember.
Exactly.
One of the coolest things that I think you said a little while ago was the letters, like mailing letters sporadically throughout the year, however long. And I could see one of those letters coming at a time whenever, the wedding's 6 months ago. Maybe it's not the best day, and it's just like a reminder to be like, man, you know what? This stuff doesn't matter. Like this disagreement, this argument doesn't matter. What really matters is the love that we have and we share, and those special. And it can just be a reminder at the right time, which everybody can use a reality check. What really matters? Exactly,
and that's ideally what those guest books or other activities, whether it's Bible verses, the Jenga pieces, the letters, it's these people who are invited are the ones who are supporting your marriage, who are praying for your marriage, who have watched you grow or are going to continue to watch you grow. And that's why they're getting this invitation, is to support something that's honestly difficult, you guys. That's, again, why we have the 10-year anniversary celebration, because marriage is hard work.
It is. It can be a lot of work. But, again, use Butler's Courtyard, and it won't be as
Start it off
easy.
It's 10:55. We have about a little over 4 minutes left, and we're going to keep talking, reminding you about everything taking place at Butler's Courtyard. Where are y'all located? I had the opportunity to go for the first time, last year. My wife, she had went and toured it, and we were looking for different occasions and events and stuff. So where are y'all exactly?
We are in the historic district of League City. So we are right off Main Street. We're kind of like a hidden gem there. A lot of people don't realize that we're so close to the downtown historic area. We're actually right in the center. And so we're at 122 North Michigan Avenue. You can find us by coming on by, or Facebook, Instagram. We're on Pinterest. And you can call or text us anytime as well. You guys are giving out our info with that really cool commercial. So
it does. It plays 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on KHEA 99.5 FM. You can also listen to it on the app as well, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. And then we have lots of events that encourage couples to come. So we do one-on-one tours, which you can make a tour by going to our website, of course, butlerscourtyard.com, Facebook, text us, but just RSVPing to our evening open house, which is this Thursday. We have a passport tour that we're a part of at the end of the month, which is an opportunity for you to see our venue and three other venues, I believe. And then we do another open house in July, and then another one in August. So there's so many awesome opportunities.
I remember y'all sharing about that passport event, because last time we were there, and then I have seen some more stuff come out about it. So it's really cool just to see the planning stages, and then, hey, this is it, and how awesome it looks like it's going to be. It'll be really, really fun.
Yeah.
Check out all these interesting places that are in our area.
Exactly. Make it super easy for couples to go through and visit, and all of the venues that they're going to see are great venues that do an awesome job, or a group of friends that support each other and have the same goal.
Yeah. Is it important or easy for y'all to have, I guess, like at least a good working relationship with some of these other places, even if y'all overlap on some of the things that you offer?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because at the end of the day, our goal is the couple and what's best for them. And our venue is unique. It might not be exactly what they're looking for, but let us recommend you to somebody that is what you're looking for, that we know will still give you the best day.
I could see even dates, like a conflict in dates, like where we're booked on that one, and I have to have it on that day. Well, then there's these other options.
We used to see that quite a bit, but nowadays it seems like couples are more flexible.
That's cool. All right.
But yeah, that is a good point.
All right. Hey, is there anything else that you'd like to share? What do we got going on tomorrow?
Tomorrow we're going to be talking to the 40 Under 40 with the Galveston Daily News, and then we're also going to be talking to Bay Area Raceway about all of their events that they have coming up. They just celebrated a milestone, 25 years, is that correct?
I believe so. I remember going there years ago, and I was just there the other day on that celebration. It was awesome.
And we also have a full day of filming today for the city of Lamarck. It was announced yesterday, so we can officially talk about it. Is that we are working on a video for the city of Lamarck called This is Lamarck. It's going to be debuting on June 10th on their new website, also on our Facebook page. And so we're going around every day so far since like Thursday, going around and getting video of different parts of the city, talking to different things. So it's going to be this massive video that showcases the city of Lamarck, and we can't wait to drop that video. It's looking good so far.
Yep, all good. This will be the day that everybody's lives change forever. The day that This is
June
Lamarck
10th.
drops. Yes. Nothing will ever be the same.
Lamarck changes.
It'll be the day. You'll see. It'll just be different. That's all I'm going to say. Lindsay, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Yeah, thanks for
sharing
having me.
everything. So Thursday, right?
Thursday, 7 p.m. at Butler's Courtyard. You're more than welcome to come. You don't have to RSVP. Our doors are open.
All right. Well, we appreciate you, Lindsay. You're awesome.
Thanks so much, guys.
This is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. This has been Kickstart. We'll see you again tomorrow morning, bright and early, as we talk to Bay Area Raceway and the Galveston Daily News. KHEA Radio 99.5 FM.
The sun
All right, bye, Facebook. We love you.